There we go, we're live.
Yay! Welcome back to another episode of Two Gears Unknown. For a small recap, our adventurers were last trying to make their delivery in the town of Evanworth, and were running into a few snags. After trying the church and finding things were not quite as they seemed, they moved over to the mayor's office to try to get some information from him. After finding things even more suspect, they've decided that maybe the local inn can give them some insight on what they need to be doing. Lishi and Lisha have gone to the tavern to speak with one Ryan Hamlet, a very handsome bartender who helped them. And then our other adventurers, Ereblesk, Kindle, and Evo, went over to the shipwrights, since Ereblesk, being a man of water himself, figured he could drum up some information as well. Both parties were pretty successful in learning a few things, and have now converged in the Centaur's Hoof Inn to try to find out what they both parties learned, and if maybe they can figure out where they're going next. So I am going to turn it over to you guys, the players, as you guys want to talk about as your characters have finally reunited at the bar here, and what kind of information you're able to share amongst each other.
So, you first. What did you discover out there?
We found a little bit, I do suppose.
A
Found.
little bit. How helpful?
Oh yes, so helpful. It helps to warm the cockles of my heart. Um, from what I can understand, we were right to assume that the mayor's shady. Apparently, the folk of town don't really know why he's here much, from what I reckon.
Yes, I've gathered that much myself.
And it also appears we were right to suspect things. The shipwrights in town haven't had much work for some time now. Isn't that right, Kendall?
Yes!
They also have a little bit of a pirate problem, too. That's what we gathered as well.
Those two things undoubtedly are related. If you've got pirates plundering the waters, you're not going to see too many requests for repairs or new ships because no one wants to be out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to talk to the barkeep, and I turn to him.
His biggest smile, and Ryan Hamlet's the name, and find food and drink for coin is the game. So, how can I help you, as you seem to be friends with my fine two friends already here?
Oh yeah, we're very good friends. Even sometimes people think we're sisters. And Evo looks at him and goes, well, so is there anybody interesting here? Any fun people?
Well, it depends on what kind of fun you're technically looking for, but there's a few characters here, definitely, and points over at the stage, and why we have one of our dancers up right now. She likes to visit Mondays, Tuesdays, and sometimes Thursdays, and those two fine folk playing with her are quite lively when they can really get into it. Kind of scans his eyes over the bar. There are a few here that I don't know, but and he points towards the people in the center, sitting at the long table with all the food. Those gentlemen and that fine lady with them, yeah, they're decent folk. I mean, I would suggest if you're maybe looking for someone to buy you a drink, I know those men are a little bit more loose with their purse. He kind of gives you a wink.
I give him a wink back and go, thank you. And I believe that's all. And I grab Lishi. I put my arm around her. I go, so, did you find anything fun?
Well, this town is, according to our friend here, a little hesitant about people that aren't quite like them, so I'm certain we're already beloved.
I think I'm great. I don't know what you're talking about.
She just gives her sister an Arabesque and Kindle kind of quick
Oh,
looks over, then returns her attention to Eva. Yes, you might be doing fine, but the rest of us don't exactly look like we belong.
don't worry. I have enough personality to keep all eyes on me. That's a promise. And I kind of tap her nose.
As you look around, Evil, you do notice quite a few people are murmuring and looking at Arablast and Kindle.
I step forward and I go, "Hi, everybody. How is everyone doing tonight? Don't worry, I'll be up on stage soon. But it's rude to stare. You might want to go back to yourselves, please. Thank you." She gives them all like a stern look and kind of goes back to everyone and goes, "So, who did we talk to first?"
Well, from what I've managed to gather, I will point out the individuals sitting in the corner. The ones that Ryan pointed out to us weren't quite. They're not local. They don't necessarily belong here, and they aren't dressed like the others. I will point them out. I believe those might be our contact.
Oh. Do you want to go talk to them? Or should
If
I
anyone's
play
going to-
first and then go talk to them?
No, I thought I'd send my sister to go talk to them.
I don't know. We don't need anybody bleeding. No offense, Lisha.
I just roll my eyes.
I mean, you are a bit stabby.
You know, for a performer, sarcasm is remarkably lost on you. Yes, you and I should go talk to them.
Oh, yeah. Let's go, come on. And I kind of grab her wine and hand it to her and go, "At least look a little drunk." And I kind of lean on her a little bit and start giggling super girly. Come on.
If these are our professional contacts, perhaps it would be smart to not.
Ah, that's true. At least bring the wine. Makes you look approachable.
Of course, this is wonderful wine. Of course, I'm going to bring it with me.
Let's go. Everyone else want to come? You're the cutest. You should really come.
Juice!
Before we go,
Yes.
before I walk away from you, though, Arablast,
Hmm?
I have a 3-word notion I want to put into your mind, and I want you to see what you can think of in the next short while. Collapsible brass brazier.
Arablast just gives you like wide eyes and like there's just almost a beeping to his mind. You could physically see.
Arablast, I think your arm needs attention.
Oh, yeah, you might be right with that one. I'll see to it that I can think of something.
That'd be wonderful. All right, let's go.
Should I kind of look to Lishi. I kind of like, should I show my boobs more? I think I need to show my boobs more.
I think you're worrying too much.
I fix my hair. I need to look perfect for when I go on stage.
On stage, yes, but again, professional contact. Best looks, yes?
Should I put lipstick on then? And she starts wriggling through
Oh,
her
just
back.
come on.
Okay. Are any of them cute, DM?
Okay, so Lishi, as you drag Evo over. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna go ahead and move your characters as if walking up. Sitting at the table here, you see 4 well-dressed people. And this person right here is just a simple barmaid that seems to be collecting some of the dishes and such. The four of them are in a hushed conversation. You're not able to pick up quite what they're talking about, but as you guys make it very pointed that you're walking towards them, they stop and lean back in their chairs, and they kind of just wait to see what you have to say. All eyes on you, though, from those four.
Evo smiles sweetly and sits down. Goes, is it morning or evening? I'm asking you,
Afternoon.
Tim. Afternoon?
Yep, no,
Okay.
afternoon.
She puts both elbows on the table and goes, good afternoon, everyone.
And before I get into this too much further, I just want to remember here. You did say that I recognized at least one of these people as having been in the guild hall when we were assigned our mission, right?
Yes, correct. The one that you recognized was the one wearing the dark blue, right here.
All right. So I shall also sit down, look evenly across the table at the group of them. I believe we're here looking for you.
The gentleman wearing the green with the feather in his cap kind of smiles at both of you and looks back at his three companions. And it is a fine day indeed, and kind of nods at you, Evo. And not sure why you're saying you're looking for us. A smile kind of on the corner of his mouth.
I mean, why wouldn't we be looking for other adventures? It's such a, well, not rare these days, but finding good adventurers are always rare.
And beside,
Go ahead.
more to the point, I at least recognize you. Is that a... What is the... Is this a gentleman, lady?
Lady.
I recognize you, madam, from the guild hall when we were assigned our mission. And I thought, if nothing else, you might be able to give us some kind of information forthwith.
She kind of puts her hands in her lap and puts her head down. I was trying so hard not to be recognized. I thought the clothes would have helped, but apparently they didn't. Trash.
You're actually doing a wonderful job. I'm just very astute.
The woman wearing kind of the circlet on her forehead there clears her throat. Well, I suppose it's come to this that your group needed to ask us for advice. It seems that you haven't quite figured out where you're going. Am I correct?
I look
Yes.
towards Lishi. Kinda.
No sense beating around the bush here. Yes, we've ascertained that there are multiple parties that would be interested in whatever's in that package, and we want to make sure we're giving it to the right one. The information as to whom the package is to be delivered was not given to us.
She kind of, as you're speaking, she just has a small smile on her lips, and she's nodding her head, listening to you. And yes, no, we at the guild we did that on purpose to see and evaluate our initiates' ability to collect information and ascertain when a situation is not quite clear. I feel that possibly this might have been a bit more challenging than it needed to be for initiates this year, and the gentleman wearing the black coughs into his hand really loud and kind of glares over at her. He looks at you two. But necessary. The guild has taken on too many new initiates that aren't worth their weight in salt. And so for this year, we've made it a bit harder on initiates, because I don't think that we need to be letting in ragtag farmers that decide they want to pick up a sword and make a name for them. The woman holds her hands up. Yes, I know. It's just disheartening to see so many groups giving up already without knowing what they're doing. So the gentleman in green kind of puts his elbow on the table and he leans over and he goes, you did a good job by getting to us, but we're not technically supposed to help you. They really wanted the groups to figure this out on their own. But, kind of looks back at the other three, I think maybe the fact that you picked us out and recognized Amber, that, maybe that kind of warrants a little bit of a special treatment. Just because you were able to remember something as minute as a maid passing by. He kind of just leans back and shrugs his shoulders and looks at the rest of the group. Amber, the woman that he had already named, and the other fine-looking lady, both are nodding their heads. The gentleman in black just crosses his arms and sits back, shakes his head, and kind of looks off.
Evo smiles at him and goes, I mean, your friend is right. We may not have been good at figuring it out on our own, but aren't we supposed to use all of our resources? As adventurers, we have to be, well, good at adapting. And when we don't have a lot of information to go on, aren't you supposed to ask all of your resources? And I look towards the guy in black, giving him a sweet smile.
Indeed, and our recognition, this is simply an extension of that gathering of information, recognizing that there may be a valuable source of information within this unusual group sitting in the corner an unusual group sitting in a corner of a room full of people to whom they obviously do not belong. Even if you weren't members of our guilds, the odds of your knowing something of use to us were undoubtedly high.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of, with his arms crossed, he kind of huffs. His lips kind of turns up in a small sneer. I'm not going to say you're wrong, because you're correct in saying that, yes, you should use all resources. I just would like to see one of these groups figure it out without having to speak to them. But he looks over at he looks at the gentleman across from him. But you are the first group that has talked to us. He kind of puts his arms down. So, I mean, at least you did figure that much on your own. You know what? I would like to test you. And he looks at the other three. Sound fair? All three of them, they kind of slight shrug, but nod their heads. So he looks back at you two. Kind of glances at Leisha, but dismisses. I want to know what you found out so far. Unless you're going to really tell me that the inn was your first choice on where to go.
Well, the mayor is super shady.
No, our path through the town, the first place we stopped was the church, believing that the people of the cloth could be trusted to, if not know what was going on, then at least have some parcel of information that might be useful for us. And from them, we learned that they believe the package contains medical supplies and that it is due for them. Their immediate insistence on this fact set off a bit of warning in the group of us, and so we backed away, gently, made our way next to the mayor. There we learned, as my companion so succinctly said, that the mayor is a very suspicious character. There's something going on with him that is not quite right. And he as well insisted that the package was due for him, which obviously creates a conflict. It can't be due for two different parties, after all.
He nods his head as he listens.
And given the fact that his behavior was incredibly suspicious, and something about he had blood on his cuff, I believe it was, so that did not seem right for a man of his standing to so carelessly dress. If he'd injured himself in the process of, say, shaving or something of that nature, you would assume that a man of dignity and mayor of a town would at least change his chair. Something is very unusual there, so we chose not to trust him with this either. Gathering further information was what we decided. From there, my sister and I came here, and you may have seen us over at the bar speaking to the bartender, learning a few more things.
Mm.
And the rest of our party went to take advantage of our companion Arablas, the turtle over there. He is an experienced shipwright of his own accord, and he went to speak to the shipwright in town. And there he learned a bit about the fact that there haven't been any ships in or out, and that there have been pirates causing a problem.
Okay.
Which is all very interesting, but doesn't actually answer whether.
He looks at his companions. They all kind of give just a slight nod, and he goes, "You've done pretty well so far. We'll hand it to you. I like the things you've picked up, and I also appreciate the different resources that you've used." So I think that warrants enough for you to ask one question to each of us. Because we can't just hand over the answer. This is still a test. But because you've taken the effort and you've shown good initiative in this, I think that you are able to ask one question of each. But you do not have to answer the question that you ask. If it is too much on the head, say, who does this package go to? That's giving it to you. We're not here to just give you the answers. We're simply here to help. Nudge those that are able to understand that we're here. So, pick your question wisely. You can definitely answer, definitely ask a different question if we tell you, no, that one's too direct. And I'm willing to give that up. And he looks at the other three, and the other gentleman across one very excitedly nods, and he goes, "I think so. I think that's really good. I like that. Oh, I like that a lot." And the women kind of, okay, I'll agree to it. Amber, she just kind of looks over, and she almost looks nervous about it. And she goes, "Don't you think it's a little much?" The guy the man in black kind of nods or shakes his head no. She goes, "Okay, I mean, I'll answer what I can. I don't know if I'm going to be as much help. So, sure." All four of them turn to you two.
I go, hold on 1 second, and I wave over Kendall and Erebless because I know Leisha is chilling behind Leishi. So I wave the other two over. I go, "Come on!" I shout really loudly for them to say, "Come on, over here." We figured we can talk about the
Erebless
questions
walks
we want.
over.
Questions for everybody. So everyone can have a say in what we want to ask.
Kendall, do you waddle over?
No, I'm very enticed in my juice.
You can bring it over. Come on.
But I really like my juice.
Bring your juice over here. Eva walks over and grabs Kendall's juice and kind of leads it down towards him to kind of follow.
Juice!
And once he's at the table with us, she gives it to him.
Okay.
It's like leading a dog. You feel like,
Yay! Juice!
You hear one of the women. You're not sure if it was Amber or the other, but you hear, "Oh," as they kind of look over at you, Kendall.
I'm too engrossed in my juice.
He's
Okay.
super cute.
Amber just nods her head quickly, hand. Nope.
I promise he's very good in battle too.
The man in black kind of looks at the rest of the group and just a stern look in his eyes, but an approving nod from him, and looks again at Evo and Lishi. So, who are you starting with?
Well, first I'm going to explain the situation to our companions here.
Of course.
We have been allowed by these fine individuals to ask each of them one question pertinent to our mission, but not a direct answer to what we're to be doing. We cannot ask them where does the package go. They won't have. But we can
Right.
ask for hints, and you can tell that Leash is biting her tongue on necessarily saying, I'm smarter than you, so I'm not sure why you're here. Your input is valuable here. So I wanted to make... it was a good move on Eva's part to make sure that you were part of the conversation if she hadn't done. So,
Right.
I believe...
Mm.
I believe that starts our questions. What should we ask, guys?
I'd love to ask what's in the package. That would give us a great deal of information, but I believe that would be in violation of our contract.
Why don't we ask something about the pirate situation? That might give us a better lead than what the church's intentions are, or even what the package entails. If
The
it
package is our mission, though.
Correct.
The pirates are interesting and might wind up being related.
But think about it like this.
While we're talking, DM, can I keep an eye on their reactions to what we're saying? See if one of them gives
Certain
away.
someone you're watching, or are you trying to watch all?
Watch all four of them, and I kind of hand a piece, kind of write something on a piece of paper, and I hand it to Alicia, and tell her. I'm not making it obvious, but I'm obviously not hiding it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna write something down to Alicia saying, keep an eye on these two and see if they give away any clues. But I'll keep an eye on the other two to see if they give away like uncomfortable shifts or just reactions to what Alicia and Erebus are talking about.
As you're kind of like trying discreetly to script this down, the man in black kind of you're more than welcome to step away if you guys would like to talk. We're not offended by that by any means.
I'm actually going to tap my sister on the shoulder and sign to her.
I still write it and hand it to Alicia.
Yeah, and I'll take the note and I'll glance at it. And
Evo, give me a perception check.
Okay.
Oh, that is a good question, sister. Do you want me to ask them that?
I nod.
Now,
So, my sister has raised an interesting question. On our way here, we encountered a situation. There were kobolds who asked us for help, which is in and of itself a bit unusual. You'd think that such creatures would be skittish of adventurers, but they suffering from a nearly tribe-extinguishing case of dysentery that had come from water that had been poisoned. Farmer upstream from them had his chickens literally dumping their waste directly into the river and poison downstream. We resolved that situation, but the question is, did the guild know anything about it?
The four of them kind of look at each other and
I am watching them very closely.
yeah, no, you can see it. It's not that they're speaking, but you can tell that something's being said between them. And the man in black, he stands up, not abruptly, but just stands up, and he looks at Leisha straight in the eyes. Will you have a conversation with me?
I'm going to point to my mask and then nod.
He kind of smirks a little bit. Will you let me speak to you?
Shrug.
Okay, he points over at the table that's at the opposite side of the room, where the two chairs are up against the wall, and he looks over at Lishi. Just a moment. I promise nothing will happen.
Of course.
Follow him. Where'd he go?
Sort of watch them go for a moment.
I follow.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of glance back at my sister, and there's a little bit of caginess in my posture now that wasn't there a moment ago. But I follow. I don't sit down, but I stand at the table.
I can't get this to rotate. Stupid. Fine. All right. So he walks over and he just kind of plops into a chair, turns so that his legs are underneath the table and everything. Doesn't even make mention for you to sit. He just turns and he puts his hands flat on the table in front of him, and he just keeps his hands there on the table. He looks at you. So, I take it that you're the one of the group who is to be trained by the master.
I kind of shrug, not fully sure what that means, but nod.
He smiles a little bit. Marcus. That's the master of the guild. He's a bastard of a man. I imagine your talents will probably be wasted. But if you continue to push on this course of wanting to be trained by him, I imagine that yes, he could. The kobolds. Because I expect that out of everybody, you most information. I know. Hang on a sec.
And now,
Turn on the side. The man in black, as he's looking at you, Leisha. So, did you kill the kobolds?
Shake my head.
How much about the guild do you know ahead of time? Before you guys came here? Because it's pretty obvious, and he kind of looks you up and... You're not from around here.
Kind of shift back and forth a little. Kind of glance back at my sister and shrug.
In the eye, and then you see his eyes shift just a little bit lower than your eyes, and you can tell he's looking at your mouth. This isn't your first time being an initiate, is it?
My eyes narrow considerably.
Trust me. I know that you're not a willing initiate. Willing initiated. From one rogue to another, you're smart to let your sister lead.
Kind of give him a look like, duh.
You guys did a good job helping. Yes, Guild does know about it.
I kind of raise my hand for him to stop. And I kind of give him a very pointed look. Raise my brow.
There has been more than one test set up for the initiate. We made this harder for a reason, and I can say that you've done a good job this far. What you've done. Is the farmer dead?
I shake my head.
Can't get perfect scores, I suppose. So Well, when you get back to the guild, and I know you guys will make it back, that's pretty certain already, considering how far. Make sure that you let the receptionist, and he says that with quotations on his fingers, the receptionist know that Mark wishes to speak with you. I understand in your state, again, his hands are on the table. I understand in your state that's a bit harder to say that. I'm sure your sister will be more than willing to help with that.
I take out my little, from my pouch on my left, piece of paper and my small kind of piece of coal, and I just kind of write out.
In what language?
Common.
Okay.
It's chicken scratch at best.
Mm-hmm.
Just I can go back and kill the farmer.
And you turn and show that to him?
Yeah, I hand it to him.
He doesn't lift his hands off the table.
Yeah, I set it on the table in front of him.
Kind of looks up at you and very slowly, very deliberately, hand over the note and then puts hand back where it was before, just so that the note is under his hand. Just you?
I more pointedly would look back at my sister and then kind of shrug, kind of. It's pretty implied that I'd have to converse with her first.
It's smart to take counsel. Tell you what. If you're willing to take on the job alone, after seeking counsel, of course, I would be willing to view it as your first, as an initiate. I know you might not quite understand everything in the guild just yet, but as you do jobs, you attain a higher status in the guild. The more jobs you complete, the more status you gain. That's how you go through the next level. You're considered an initiate quite as long as the rest of the party. This test that we set up was designed to build parties. It's understood that once you complete this mission, that your group is probably going to stay together. Being out for as long as you have been lends itself to forming parties better than a guild put together. But completing this job on the side would allow your group to progress a little faster. Specifically you, but a group's status is an accumulative score of all the individual members. If you were to do something as a group, everybody's score goes up. If you're to do something individual, your personal score goes up, but still gets added to the total. Make sense?
I nod.
I don't know how much I'd say your score will go up. I can't quantify that right now. But it would increase your score. I can tell you that much.
I take another piece of paper out, and I write, and I slide it over to him. Did the guild poison the water?
Kind of eyes widen a little bit. No. Damn, I wish I would have thought of that. Huh.
Yes.
No. No, they didn't.
Insight check?
Yes, you can. Seems honest. And seeing as you won't be asking questions of me, I would like to stand and return to the any quorums.
Take out one more piece of paper and I just write, I accept.
Okay, sounds good. It is an official contract. And your name? I am going to ask your sister. I hope it gives me. I will look to you to see if it is honest.
I nod.
Fair enough. He kind of looks at you, just kind of with a question. May I stand?
I just turn away and I quickly make my way back to my sister's side.
Okay. You guys, as you watch Leisha quite hurriedly come back to the group, you see the man in black sit there the entire time, doesn't move. As soon as she returns to Leisha's side, then he very calmly stands up and slowly walks back to the group and takes his seat.
That was fun. Hope you guys had a fun conversation.
Mark, the man in black just kind of looks over. Fun enough. So who are you starting with?
Oh, did that not count?
No. No, it didn't.
Wonderful. All right, then. Erebus, you wanted to ask about the pirates, and while I'm not entirely certain how related that is, it is a question that does bear up. So,
I
whoever
wanted,
you'd like to ask the question of.
let's see. I was hoping actually to perhaps ask if it, it's hard to put an exact word into it, I suppose. I'm not the most literate tap when it comes to wordplay, but I know in the past it's been adventurers' jobs often to not just seek the end of a quest, but also put forth the end of the reasoning behind it. In other words, if your job was to get some silver blades down to a church so they could fight werewolves, it's generally assumed that you'll help in some way. And that blasted arm again, I need to repair it later. Um, what I'm trying to get is, from what the information we have received is the whole reason for the supplies and whatnot seems to be the pirates making supplies short of the town, and that's one reason why you sent out so many adventurers. My question being, I think, is obvious at this point. Uh, if you won't tell us what's in the box or to give it to, will you at least tell us if getting some kind of leeway with the pirates is gonna play some part in this, in our initiation, I should suppose.
The four kind of look to each other, and the guy in green, who exactly are you asking? 'Cause that's, I assume, part of this is you have to pick who you're asking the question to.
Herbalist just like eyes widen and he just looks towards Lishi for a second, like as if he's like, wait, was that a part of this?
Yeah, it was.
Yes, I said as much when I yielded the floor to you. You have to choose who you're asking the question of.
Ah,
We
right.
get to ask each of them one question.
Ah. And DM, what individuals are here again? Like what do each of them look like? I know there's the guy in all black, clearly some kind of rogue. But I was wondering if Erebus can pinpoint anything else about the others.
Give me a history check.
Gotcha. Now, how good at history is Arablast? He is. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I'm actually not that bad. Okay. Oh, 10.
It's okay. Good enough. The gentleman wearing the. You actually recognize the clothes that he's in some of your worldly travels that you've had. The continent that is across from this, not the Elven continent, Pesmus, but the other continent, the name is escaping me at this current moment. His clothes come from that continent.
Which individual? The one who just talked to me?
The one in green, yes, correct.
Right. Do I get
The
any?
other, I was going to say, the other three, any assumption you've made about the man in black is your own, but the other two, the women, seem to be pretty common, fine clothing. Nothing special about them. The man that's in green and purple, he sticks out to you because you recognize his clothes are from a different continent.
Right. So he. Okay, yeah. He's the most likely then to know about this. Arablast is just going to keep looking at him. I believe I'll be asking you, traveler.
The man gets a very big smile on his face. I like you. You know a worldly man when you see one.
I'm one myself. It wouldn't help if I didn't.
He kind of looks you up and down and quick nod of his head. And, oh, you look the part, that's for sure. Well, I don't mind introducing myself. And he kind of gives a pointed look at the man in black. Raykosh is the name, but you can call me Ray. I understand dialect can get a little funny, especially in the mouths that aren't made for the language. So, good question. I like your question a lot. I assume that you might have had some dealings with pirates yourself at this point. Uh, kind of looks at your hat and such. And
Arablast just lifts his hand. A little bit more than I'd like to reckon, sad.
well, I'm not gonna. I can't give you too much information again. Blair's a little fast at the man in black, but I am gonna say yes to your question. That the pirates and the things that you guys are carrying do play a part to each other. So I'll give you that much. And I do like seeing a shipwright with a group. It's very refreshing to see a tradesman venture a little bit. You never know when that certain talent kind of comes in handy. Myself, I'm a merchant, and that's why he kind of points down at his clothes. So I like that you're able to pick that out.
Right.
He smiles and just kind of looks at the rest of the. Just some small nods, like, yeah, that was good. That was good.
Well, that was my one question, and I'm glad I got the answer I did. But I do have one more suggestion. That's if y'all are willing to listen. I understand I've had my turn.
We're always
Oh,
willing
no,
to
of
listen.
course.
Go ahead.
Both the mayor and the church, as well as the shipwrights, all confirm that we're the only adventuring group that made it here besides these folk. Shouldn't we ask why we're the only ones here so far when the rest should have been here before us? Or if perhaps there's more here than we just haven't seen them.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that as well. Yeah.
So now, I hate to be playing player's advocate here, but both Evo and Leisha both said that they were going to be watching them. Did either of them pick up any hints when Erebus was saying that?
I was just about to ask for perception checks from those two.
Reception?
Kendall, you go ahead and give me one too. Leisha, it's not that you're not paying attention.
Hey!
Just not quite paying attention where I would expect you to. That makes sense?
I'm pretty sure Kindle's gonna be blessedly unaware and super focused on his juice as usual. He's very oblivious.
He sure is. Kindle, that juice is just fantastic. You haven't quite had anything sweet and like this before. Juice is really good. Leisha, you notice the man in black that as he's taking a drink, since you've seen him talk more than anybody, slight smile his mouth on. Evo,
Yeah.
as Arablest was asking that question, you saw Amber kind of fidget with her dress.
I
Because-
point this out to Lisha, and I kind of just shrug to her, just kind of whisper, block my hands so they can't hear me or read my lips more.
Okay. All right. The four of them kind of
I think
look at you guys waiting.
I think that is an interesting question. To whom should we ask?
Feel we should probably ask. Which girl was the one that was fidgeting with her dress?
Amber.
Amber? I think we probably should have asked her. Wait, what question did Arabless say we should ask? I swear.
Why none of the other groups have made it? Or if they have and we just haven't seen them.
Was she fidgeting when we asked that question?
When Arablest was talking, yes.
Okay.
About that.
Yeah. I go, we should probably ask her. And I point to Amber. I think that would be a good start.
Very well then. You have your question, miss.
Amber. Okay. Amber is my name. I'm not sure if we're supposed to introduce ourselves. She kind of narrows her eyes and like the other three just kind of shrug one way or another. It's a good question. I mean, I would be really surprised as well if I were a group that got sent on a mission by a really large guild groups and they didn't make it. So a lot of sense. I'm getting sidetracked. So why would you guys think that they wouldn't make it?
I thought we were the ones supposed to be asking the questions.
Never. She kind of looks at the other three. Never said that we couldn't ask it questions in return. I don't think. Did I
don't
miss
think
that
that's
part?
very
No,
fair.
technically not.
If you don't have an answer, that's fine. I just wanted to know your thoughts on it.
Well, you have implied that there were other elements to these tests, and perhaps they ran afoul of something else and didn't make it through, which is a shame, sure. Or called it quits. Perhaps sabotage. There's any number of reasons why these other groups might not have made it here.
Well, I don't want to be too direct. I'm not trying to, give you like direct answers, but pointing out that there are other elements to this is true, and the fact that you guys made it here in the time that you did, I'm gonna assume you didn't take the main road, did you? There was a few other elements that were to test initiates as they came through, but we only set them up on the main road, and you guys spoke of kobolds, which, okay, that's understandable, but you guys didn't talk about anything else. Did you run into anything else when you guys were on your way here?
Arabless starts taking out the some of the feathers from the owlbear. We ran into some overgrown hooters.
Kind of give Arablest a look like, really?
Evo giggles like a schoolgirl.
Ray, over on the side, Ray chuckles. Hooters. Oh, haven't heard an owlbear be called that before. Okay.
Yes, and as my sister points out, there was, when we encountered the kobolds, there was also a destroyed wagon.
Amber kind of shakes her head quickly. I mean, you could rent when all the groups were leaving the guild. You could rent a wagon and you could rent a horse, but I didn't see any horses come into town lately, and none of you look stiff from riding a horse for a couple days. So I'm assuming
No,
you didn't have horses.
No, we eschewed horses because the wait time to get one seemed
A little long.
onerous.
A little bit longer than what we wanted to wait for.
And poor old mule there is 10 times better than any of them horses, I assure.
Yeah, no, to answer your question, again, without actually answering your question, you're right that there was multiple things set up for initiates to run into, and not that I agree with all of them. We set up quite a few things for initiates to go through, and it sounds like your group managed to miss them.
It's because we skirted a great deal of the main road.
So that's my answer to your question.
Okay. So we have 2 more people. What else do we need to know? Kendall, do you have anything?
More juice!
Hey, I guess I'll take you to go get more juice. Come on, Kendall. And I take him to the bar, and I ask the bartender politely if I could have more juice, and I hand it to Kendall. And then I drag Kendall back to the table, pat him on the head. All right, you got your juice. All right, anybody else willing to contribute
When
here?
you come back, Amber just has her hands in her mouth and she's like, he's so precious.
Yes, he is. I think he's an adult. I'm not sure yet.
I look at you, and I look at my juice. I go back to drinking my juice.
Okay, I'm gonna take that as a no.
Erebus looks at Kendall, and then you said her name was Amber, right, DM?
Yes. I have the name tag thrown up in case you guys
Awesome.
forget their names.
Erebus just looks at the both of them for a second. You know, if you give us a little bit better of an answer, maybe one that we can get a little bit more info out of, we'll let Kendall sit on your lap, and you can pet him like a cat.
You know he's a little heavy, right?
Pets!
Amber's eyes just goes wide. All of a sudden, the man in black, his arm shoots over and he grabs her by the wrist. And he gives her a very pointed look. He kind of looks back at you, Erebus, and he has a glare on his face. Smart tactics, but not always the best tactics.
Eva looks at him and gives him like the biggest puppy dog eyes and goes, "Aw, sweetheart, why don't you let a girl have a little bit of fun? It's not like we're asking for a lot. And plus, you never know.
I think
There might be more for you later if you play your cards right." And she winks at him.
I'm gonna jab Evo in the side. Like, not just, like, no part of my body moves except my fingers just right in her kidney, basically, as she's talking.
Ow. Rude.
The man in black,
Give you a very pointed look.
The man in black looks over at you, Evo. His expression softened as you were talking and everything. Not to a super friendly look. It's not. It's still a very stern look. You must trust quite a bit people that you just met. Which, again, smart tactic. I just wouldn't say it's the best tactic to go with first. Especially one so... He looks over at Kendall. And then looks back at you and Evo. Small.
But have you seen him? Do you have no heart? I mean, let the girl have a bit of fun if she wants to. If she wants to have him sit on her lap, let her. I don't see what the problem is. And I pet Kendall on the head, kind of ruffle his feathers.
And for what it's worth, sir, I've seen him in a pinch. He's not to be underestimated.
He lets go of Amber's wrist and just kind of gives a nonchalant shrug. Amber kind of claps her
Can I take
hands.
a moment to kind
Amber,
of study Amber?
Amber, well, yes, you may. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
No, I think I want to more in a physical way. Like, is there anything that just seems off about her physically?
Amber kind of claps her hands, really excited, hands up to her lips, and really, he can sit in my lap?
Only if you give us a little bit more of an answer.
She's kind of almost bouncing up and down, kind of like a child. Sure, I can tell you more.
Thank you. And I go, Kendall, go sit on her lap. And when she's done talking, then you can hop on her lap.
Okay. Kendall's gonna like put the juice down on the table. He's gonna look at it for a moment, and then he's gonna run on over there and jump on her lap.
All right. Now you can give us more of an answer. Deal's a deal.
Oh, she wraps her arms.
Yay, hugs!
Oh, oh boy. What do you want to know? And so, as she kind of continues.
I look towards Erebless. Repeat your question. She's apparently awestruck.
We just want to know a little bit more straightforward of an answer, that's all. Just something to lean off more of. So, maybe a little. Which question did we ask her? We asked her about the other people, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose things like if you know the closest proximity, perhaps, of the others, or maybe even if any of them have already failed in their quest, or if perhaps there's even any interminglings of the groups that may be in a negative light. Things that we could use to make sure we don't get crisscrossed in the applesauce, as they say.
Just a sec, too late. She starts slowly petting Kendall's head. Oh, I mean, there was quite a few played on the main road, like, oh boy, and oh my gosh, you were so cute.
I'm cute.
Oh boy. So a couple traps. I mean, it wasn't like anything like super elaborate or anything like that. It's not like we hired thugs or something to rob every person that came through the road and maybe to capture a few pictures. Or oh my gosh, I just can't believe it.
Okay. Sorry, did you say capture?
What?
Did you say capture? I heard capture in there.
Capture? What?
You
No.
said
We laid traps.
You laid traps.
Well, I mean, capture them to take them back to the guild, yes, but it's not like we sold them into slavery or anything. It's just
you sold them into
grab them. No, I said we didn't, and all of a sudden you're allowed thud from under the table. She kind of, the smile on her face just kind of tightened. Oh, he's so cute.
Okay. I look towards Lishi and the others. Does kind of a shrug look
Is it time for the next question?
The man in
Uh,
black just kind of looks over. I think so.
Oh, good. Because I believe it's my turn. I have a good question, and I know whom I want to ask of. I'm going to look at the gentleman in black here.
Mhm.
I cut Lishi off and I go,
I'm going.
what are you doing to Kendall?
Amber kind of like stops petting, and I'm petting him.
I go, Kendall, come here for a second.
Okay.
Please. Thank you. And I get up and walk over to her and I go, what are you doing?
She kind of looks at you and looks at Kendall. Was petting him.
What's in your hand?
She holds her hands up.
Kendall,
You turns them side to side. Nothing.
are you missing anything?
Kendall's gonna look. Am I missing anything?
Kendall, one of the vials that you had on you.
Ooh, yes!
I go, hand it over, sweetheart. Please and thank you.
She kind of reaches down into her lap and lifts a part of her dress.
That's hot.
And sets the vial on the table and kind of like slides it over to you.
Is it my empty vial?
I grab the vial.
Yes.
And
Oh,
I
okay.
pat her on the head and go, thanks. Please don't steal from us.
When
And I hand it back to Kendall.
Yay,
when-
vial.
when Evo does that, Erebus is just going to give the guy in the black clothes a little bit of a smirk.
I believe that gives us a right to a free question. I don't take too kindly to being stolen from. And I look at Amber. And then to the rogue. Just smiling sweetly the entire time.
The guy in black kind of chuffs a little. I don't care to try to be played. I call as even.
What gave you the word that we're being played? That we're playing you?
Evo, I hate to interject. I know you're playing here, but I do gotta agree with the gentleman. We did play our hand, and they tried to play theirs. It just so happened theirs was a shitty hand.
That's fair.
Good job, Kendall. I'll get you some juice later. Better juice.
Juice.
All right, Lishi, you may
Oh,
continue.
are we? Oh, we're done with the sideshow.
I thought you were the sideshow.
The woman in the nice dress kind of, I sure hope so.
Next time, leave it to the rogue to steal.
Lisi, I believe you had a question.
Yes, you, sir, who seem to have control of this group, pulled my sister aside for a quiet, personal conversation. I'm asking you, what's going on with the mayor? You seem like the type who might know some dark secrets.
He almost slightly smiles at that when you say that. Huh. Reword that and I'll give you something. I'll give you an answer if you can reword that. That's too direct of a question.
All right. Thinking carefully here.
The guy in black he leans back ever so slightly. You guys can take your time. We're waiting for other adventurers.
Of
So
course.
don't feel pressured.
If anyone else can think of the question to ask of
So you
of
said
our
that.
last individual. That while I word this, think of the wording for this.
You ask
The-
what you're trying to ask is how to what's going on with the mayor. So let's think here. What's another good question? We already asked if the pirates are involved. They said kind of yes. The other adventurers are being kidnapped. We have two other people that we can ask questions to. We're not going to ask what's in the box. Oh, how about we ask? I look towards everyone. How about we ask something along the lines of where should we start to finish our mission in the town or around the town? Because we know we're supposed to be here, but where can we start? Give us a direction, not a direct place, but a direction. How's that feel to everyone? Oh no,
I think
please
that
don't talk
that
all at
works.
once.
Okay.
Thanks.
That works for a question. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Which one of them seems the more in the town?
Well, I've already called the gentleman in black, so you'll have to have the other one.
Oh, the other chick? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. I look at her and I go, where should we go to start? Which direction we should be going in town to find the right place to go?
she kind of she almost narrows her eyes like she's thinking. You're asking which direction
Not
to go?
direction, like, what's a good starting point?
Oh,
Besides,
you want to
obviously,
know?
the town.
Basically, you want a hint about where
I'm
you should be
gonna.
looking, right?
Where is Kendall standing? Just next to us.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm gonna kneel down and I'm gonna study him. I'm gonna put one hand kind of slowly, as if like this isn't something I do. I'm gonna kind of put a hand on his shoulder and I'm gonna kind of study him for a moment.
Investigation check. Kendall, please check your messages.
Oh. Oh no.
Kendall, you notice you feel really warm, like uncomfortable.
Wow. Tingly.
Mhm.
Warm.
Good way to describe it. He's sweating.
I'm
bird
gonna
sweats?
stand up and I'm going to, and my sister will notice that this is probably the most amount of forced self-control in my movements she's seen for a while, but she recognizes it, and I'm gonna kind of slowly draw one of my daggers from my thigh and stab it into the table in front of the lady and just stare at her.
When you stab the dagger into the table, she jumps and kind of like slides back in her seat. She looks at you and looks at the dagger and looks at you.
I have a feeling that
What is the meaning of this?
you really pissed off the wrong person, too.
The man in
Did she?
black, making sure that he's leaning away from you, but
Mm.
making any sudden movements.
My eyes are a little bit wild.
He looks over at Amber and why is my thing? Oh god. Looks over at Amber and looks at you, Leisha, and then back at her. What did you give him? And she kind of looks real nervous. It's just something to help him sleep tonight. That's all.
What
Nothing
did
hard.
you give
Not
him?
gonna hurt him. It's
Evo
sleep. He was
actually
just gonna
gets up.
sleep.
Why?
He's just so cute. I just I just want to him, and he's just
Does the way that she's speaking, the kind of demeanor, the words that she's saying, is it kind of reminiscent in any way? Is it kind of
Did she break up?
No.
Or did she
nope.
just
She was
stop?
trying to ask something, but I needed her to ask.
I'm going to my hand on my dagger tightens, and I look very sharply at my sister and real quickly here. You'll recognize this, Leisha, this kind of wild uh this kind of wild look that I haven't had since a time before this.
Evo stands up and kind of places a hand on Lishi's wrist of the dagger. And I look
Oh, you're
towards...
across the table. You would have to go around the table.
I go around the table and I place my hand on Lisha. And I go, in a second. And I get down to Amber and I look her in the eyes. And I go,
Check your message, Scott.
I saw it.
sweetheart, can you do me a favor and not poison our friends? And if you have the antidote, or any of you have the antidote, I would be more than happy to take it and give it to our little friend. Because if anything happens to him, I don't think I can keep my rogue, my friend here, in check for very long. And I would like to make an intimidation check against Amber.
Ooh,
Okay.
If I can.
calling it.
Where is my intimidation? Ooh, can I use my inspiration to reroll that?
Yes, if you'd like.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
I was going to
much
say,
better.
otherwise, with me doing everything I'm doing, would that have given her advantage to aid in said intimidation? Just so she's not using her inspiration otherwise. Up to you.
Yes, I'll allow that. That's a
Oh,
good call.
sweet.
Her Amber's eyes go wide, and she she's like slowly trying to lead away from. You see the other woman that was the woman that's dressed in the finer clothes is leaning towards Amber, almost as if like she's trying to intercept her as Amber's away. The man in black looks over at you. Ishi is the feathered friend. Is he that by birth?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay, he kind of nods slightly and he pulls a vial out and sets it in front of you, Lishi.
And what are we supposed to do with this?
You asked for an antidote.
And how do we trust it, given what you have already allowed this intolerable woman to do? We escaped from people like her. I recognize her kind when I see it, and my sister recognizes them fast. She's lucky
understand
I
that.
don't burn this whole inn down around us, simply kill her.
He uncorks the vial in front of you, takes a small sip, and sets it back down.
I want her to drink it. A small sip. And I point to Amber. Before we give it to him. You, I wouldn't be surprised if built up immunity to poison. I don't think she has.
He kind of shrugs and slides the vial over to her, and
Take a sip.
a very shakily hand, she reaches out and grabs it and takes a small sip and sets it back down.
Now open your mouth. I want to see you swallow it.
She opens her mouth. It's empty.
Okay. Then I look at Lishi. If you trust it.
I'll leave it in the hands of Kindle.
Kendall?
He's willing to trust it.
Okay. Taylor's gonna take the vial and just dump it in his juice and start drinking his juice with it.
Okay. That. Okay.
Funny.
The guy in black looks at you, Evo. He hasn't moved, like he's staying very still, and just kind of side eyes you a little bit. Maybe next time you should keep your party members to yourself.
Maybe next time you shouldn't poison them.
Lesson learned.
You shouldn't be so trusting, sweetheart.
Lesson
Actu-
learned.
Actually, I would like to interject, Lishi, about this. You are the ones that said that this is a team building exercise of sorts to make sure that we are good fits for one another. I think this is more of a case of we trusted one another to hold each other's backs if needed.
Do you, Evo and Leisha, back off, or are you guys gonna just keep standing there?
I look towards Lisha and I go. I remove my hand off of Lisha's wrist. And I give her a tap on the shoulder and I take my seat back.
Leisha doesn't necessarily respond. She's kind of still glaring a little wild-eyed.
I go,
And,
Lisha, you might want to get her to back down just a little bit.
Stand down, sister. I understand.
Very slowly. See her, my ears twitch a little bit, and I take the dagger out of the table, put it back in its sheath on my thigh, and I step back just behind Lishi.
And understand, Amber, is it? If we know a bit more of your nature now. Any untowards behaviors towards my companions, and we shall see how far you get when everything you are wearing is on fire.
And
Do
don't,
you understand me?
and don't worry. I have plenty of ways to keeping you still the entire time you burn.
She looks very startled and kind of spooked by all this as she kind of steps back and she kind of cowers into her chair, just folds her hands in front of her. He was such a bait. You just gave him to me, and he should be with me. And you hear a loud thud from under the table, and she just quickly stills and just sits there.
Well, did you figure out how to ask your mayor a question, Lishi?
The guy in black looks over. I'll give you this one after this. I'll answer your question. You asked if there was something suspect of the mayor. Am I correct?
I asked what's going on with him, yes.
Mm. He is being investigated by the guild. We are not sure what sort of dealings he has. And he looks at you, Leisha, and he looks at you, Lishi, and kind of narrows his eyes a little bit. We feel his dealings may be a little bit further away than here. But
Oh, really?
there's been some reports that the surrounding farmers don't quite make it home at night like they should. So, and from what we can tell, the mayor's not exactly forthcoming with his information as to what he, but flat out accusing anyone of anything, as it makes it look like the guild is trying to just take over a town. That is not the kind of reputation the Guardians of Dawn's Light has tried to build.
Right. And you've done a good job at that so far. That
But
tells me
if initiates were to act of their own, not even official initiates, pardon me, official initiates, but not official members, or to act of their own accord, there's nothing the guild can do about it, since you're not affiliated with the entirely yet.
some people may think this line of thought cowardly, but I understand that it is smart. Keep your hands clean. If things go wrong, you disavow it. If things go right, you commend it. Intelligent.
Cowardly isn't always the
Sometimes
worst.
sometimes the smartest moves you can make seem cowardly to the stupid.
Sure. And he looks at you, Leisha. I suppose, after all this trouble, the most sincerest thing that I can give would be my name. He looks at the rest of you. You may call me Mark.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
The woman in the finer dress with the circlet on her head kind of taps her chair. Suppose, is there a question that you wanted to ask me? I know something was proposed, but seeing as the turn of events, she kind of glares over at Amber. Is there something else you would like to ask me instead of asking where you should start?
I look towards Lishi.
At this point, I am wondering if asking what's in the box might be pertinent.
Actually,
Thinking
yes.
about the terms of our contract, the terms simply say we're not to open. They don't say that we're not allowed to learn what's inside of it from other means. Knowing what's in the box would tell us a great deal about where it might need to go, where it would do the most good.
The woman smiles. And she kind of looks you up and down, Lishi. And who at the guild would you be learning under, Miss?
Was that ever established, Dungeon Master?
You were never given a name. All you were able to learn of the guild when you looked up how this guild works is that you were assigned to a specific class master. So you understand that the wizard master would be your mentor.
Whoever at the guild is the keeper of arcane knowledge, wizardry.
The woman she just nods her head a little bit. Lillian. Lillian is my name. I am presumably not your master, but I am one of the arcane masters. You see, the arcane masters, and you hear the other small. The arcane masters are a bit smarter about the way we handle the other classes to take on this one-on-one I'm your buddy kind of attitude and mentor those that are less skilled, which that works if you're something just going to hit something else stick swords. But for those of us that have a little bit finer touch and a bit more finesse, we've decided that it is better to pool our arcane resources to learn from each other. So, although it might not fall under my branch specifically, I will definitely enjoy. You seem quite adept at what you're doing.
You don't get as far as my sister and I have and deal with the things that we did without learning things.
Normally, we wouldn't answer your question. Would be a bit too direct. But, again, she kind of side glances. Pardon me, she kind of side glances at Amber. Seeing as we've caused some issues and a bit of discomfort, which, by the way, seems that your feathered friend is not quite swaying on his feet, so I assume he's feeling a little bit better. Kindle, you're not quite as warm or tingly. Well, since
Better.
he seemed since that at least is going well, I will tell you that there are supplies, medical supplies in that box. You guys were on the right track with thinking, and I commend you for noticing things are not so. But you were definitely on the right track. Where you were, there are medicals in these boxes that we.
Is
Because
Jill
it
breaking up
is.
for anybody else?
I'm sorry. What?
Are you breaking up for anybody else?
Yes, actually, she broke up a little bit on my end too.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure why.
Okay, I was just
It's all
making
right.
sure. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. What of that did you get? Do you need me to repeat anything?
So yes, there was medical supplies in it, is what I got.
Yes, medical supplies in the box, and commended for your line of thinking, and good job on catching things are not seen.
Okay. Alright.
She continues, it is true, and you found this out, yes, pirates have laid a small siege to this area and cutting off our regular supply routes. So, part of your test here was to also get supplies to this town.
As well as deal with the pirates, or just getting the supplies here?
She kind of smiles. I'm not going to give you all the answers.
Okay. Fair enough.
Now, I think Arablast actually hit the nail on the head with that one. It doesn't do much good for an adventuring group to address a symptom and not a cause. Bringing supplies to this town would be a never-ending endeavor if no one put paid to the reason the supplies need to be brought.
Oh, we do have to go deal with pirates. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Lillian, she kind of smiles very bigly at you, Ishi. You are quick. I like that a lot. You're going to be very fun to work. There are different grades, scores that you can receive upon your initiation. I know it's not mentioned, but for good reason. There's multiple ways to increase your rank before even becoming a member. So you could drop off the supplies, and yes, that's an option. And would it be good enough to get you into the guild? I suppose. But, and she kind of tilts her head down just a little bit and smiles at you. Extra credit's always nice.
And I have always been an overachiever.
Oh man. I wondered.
So, and at this point, I'm still hoping that several of my party members are paying close attention to the group of
I
people at
am.
the table here.
Same.
Yeah.
So at this point, I believe I believe the decision would be to put this package, knowing that it has medical supplies, in the hands of the church. I think it would do the most good.
Yeah.
Right.
From there, our goal should be to track down what we can of these pirates, and if not eliminate them entirely, deliver them enough of a blow they think twice about troubling these waters.
I like that idea. I always wanted to meet pirates. I wonder what they'll be like. Hmm. Do you think they
So-
like music? I hope so.
I think there are a lot of things they'd like about you, Doc.
Oh, I know. A lot of people like a lot of things about me. I'm a ray of sunshine.
You might not enjoy their appreciations from everything I.
Oh.
At any rate, thank you all for your help. Thank you for keeping your own people in check.
Mark looks very pointedly at Amber, and Amber has gone pretty still, and she's just sitting there, looking down at her hands. Maybe not the best kept, and maybe not the best first impression, but I know for myself and for Lillian's sake as well, you've made quite a fine impression on us.
I mean, how could we not?
So, what is your profession, if I may ask, Miss Amber?
She kind of like just tilts her head up ever so slightly, and people, people are my profession.
Okay,
And she looks back down.
that either means you're a bard or a rogue, and either way,
I don't think she'll be any bard that I will be talking to or associating with. Not really my type. I kind of snare at her.
Lillian clears her throat. Not everyone here, and she glares at Amber, is a master of any sort of trade.
Ah. I was just curious. Thank you for the answer. Sorry for being so brass with you, Miss Amber.
I believe this calls for a celebration. I have
Yes,
a
I was just
performance
actually
itch
go.
wanting.
We're stumbling over each other. Go ahead.
I have a performance itch and I really, really need to scratch it. And I run up to the stage.
And I was going to ask, what are your libations of choice?
I think that would have gone over
They're drinks. What
Um,
do you drink?
Mark looks over at you guys. I believe we have time now that we would like to discuss with our own party. If you wouldn't mind taking time to discuss with your own somewhere.
Of course, but that doesn't prevent drinks from being sent over here anyway.
They all just kind of shake their head just ever so slightly as a not as a no. I mean, they all kind of no,
All
thank
right.
you.
All right. Courtesy observed, at any rate. Thank you for your time and your assistance. And I will get up and collect my sister and begin walking towards.
This table
Let's
works.
see. How about the table? I was thinking the opposite corner of the bar.
Oh,
I don't think it really
But
matters
one
where.
one near the stage works as well. Anywhere that there are at least 5 chairs.
You got a couple choices here.
let's go to this one.
So let's go. That works. Since you're interested in the stage,
Yes.
I believe you're actually on the stage.
Yeah,
So-
Evo's already by the stage going, hey, excuse me. Hey, hi.
The two people playing music kind of stop for a moment, and the dancer stops. All three of them look very kindly at you. The guy, with the drum, play.
Yeah. And I hold up my violin. Do you care
And
if is there enough room for me to dance? I like playing and dancing.
Oh, sure, come on up.
Yeah. Evo
He
gets up.
slides back in the corner, and the one with the Turlier, I'm not sure, slides back. The dancer, she smiles kind of kindly, and she goes, "Can I dance? Is that okay?
Oh, yeah,
I'll
you can
try to
dance
stay
with
out of
me.
your way as much as possible."
Do you do ballet?
Nothing quite as fancy, but I can stay in the back of the stage, or if you don't mind staying up front.
I can definitely do that.
Okay.
And I clear my throat to everyone. I go, welcome all. My name is Eva Dranasi, and I am going to be your entertainer today. And I have a wonderful
Arabella
song
starts
for all of you.
leaving.
And I pull out my violin and I start playing and dancing. More lively and upbeat and very, very overly dramatic.
Okay, I don't have any actually music, so terrible. So,
No, you're good.
theater of the mind, we have a very robust fiddle going. So,
Violin,
a lot
it's
of
not a fiddle.
violin. A lot of people in the inn, clapping and kind of tapping feet and everything, and you're getting a few cheers and such. Go ahead and give me a performance check just to verify that you're doing a good job.
Oh, man.
You did great.
Yeah.
No worries.
Do I get any gold? Does anybody tip?
I will let you know at the end of that.
Yeah. Okay.
So as I see Arablest walk past the table and he's leaving, I'm going to get up and I'm going to follow him and I'm going to sign to my sister to stay here and specifically keep an eye on Kindle and make sure he's all right.
I nod.
Kindle, your juice is getting low.
Aww.
More juice.
I will
And
I will
guess who's
follow
stuck with
Arablest out.
Kindle to get him more juice, Leisha?
I'm literally just gonna be following Kindle wherever he goes.
Kindle, do you go up to the bar, or are you just sitting there yelling for juice?
I'm gonna go get more juice.
I'm gonna follow him.
Okay, as Kindle, as you walk up to the bar, Ryan, my fine feathered friend, another apple juice?
Yes.
Of course. And he holds another cup out to you of apple juice.
Oh yeah. Ken's gonna take that and enjoy the shit out of that as he walks back to the table.
Still following.
This menacing rogue walking behind him.
That's one hell of a view
Still
there.
kind of twitchy.
Yeah, very twitchy rogue.
It's okay. No one in the inn. Evo, as you're playing, you notice that when they stand up to walk to the bar and back, no one paid attention to them at all. No one even looked at them.
Yeah,
So
my goal
everyone's
has been
been watching you.
completed.
Okay, Aerobless, Lishi, I'd like to give a moment to you guys if you'd like to have a conversation for you step in.
Yes, well, Arablest, you would have gotten outside before I called to you. So what would you be doing?
Arabella would probably be just looking for like signpost at this moment for like craftsmen's quarters or tradesmen's posts, just basic signs. That it's like, oh, hey, this is where the forges are. This is where the
Okay.
ports are.
Because I can't move just two of you, unfortunately, I need to mold the whole group to this. So sorry. All right. So here's the map of the town, Ebenworth, that you guys are in. You are currently coming out of the Centaur's Hoof, kind of into that main courtyard there. Um, when you make your way out to like kind of those crossroad areas, you can see some signs are up, and yes, they do point. There is a blacksmith back this way, and then the only other sort of tradesman that you could see would be like this bar that they set up. So, and it's about 3, 4 o'clock. Sunset isn't for another hours.
What?
Looking for something.
Uh, you could say something like that. You did just give me a job.
That is true. Are you that adept that you've already had thoughts on the matter?
Have you not seen my hand yet? I can think
No,
of
that
quite a
is
few
that is true.
things that, yeah. Don't worry, I'll have your job done quick. I just figured since I have the supplies already, I could go make it before nightfall and have it to you before we all go to bed.
And just to be clear, it doesn't have to be too big. I'm looking for something that's
Something that could fit in a
workable.
purse.
A purse, not necessarily a travel bag. Fine. Something large enough for certain spell.
I had an idea, and I think it'll work quite well. I'll even, if you'll allow, as Erebus takes out one of his nails, I'll even give it a little bit extra if you really wish. But
Oh,
that's up to you.
that's not necessary. It would be a waste of your time. It serves a singular purpose, and I'm not sure that any enhancement would benefit
Isn't an
for that purpose.
enhancement. I'll be honest, it ain't an enhancement to the purpose. It's more of a little bit extra jolt to your castings. Of a different persuasion. You said when we first met up you didn't like the idea of me enhancing you. Well, how about I put it a different way then? Uh, I give you a little bit of a ticker so that way when you are losing your concentration, you're just remembered. It won't be permanent, and I could have it switched to something else at a moment's notice. But as long as this nail's in it, I can at least put the enchantment on it.
All right, close. Your
At
call.
least then, maybe you can trust my magics a little bit more. I don't want you to keep worrying my craftsmanship is going to be in your way.
Oh no, your craftsmanship is not the issue here. I can tell by the quality of what I can see you've made. I can tell your craftsmanship is quite good. It's that where my sister and I come from, technology ranges in terms of our understanding of it from mistrusted to hated. And it is taking effort to throw that off. You are a man that works with a style and type of craftsmanship and magic that is very literally foreign to me. And so it will take some time, but seeing what you can do, I'm growing a little more used to it. And though we've already had our disagreements at one point, honestly, I wanted to speak with you for a moment on your thoughts on this whole procedure. You and I are, by my estimation, the smartest people in this group. Not to disparage our companions, not my sister and Evo Kindle. They're all perfectly capable, smart people, but you and I are of a different cut. I think you understand.
I get your coin.
So what are your thoughts on the proceedings that just happened?
If you were to, if I were to put it into words, I think we just showed the guild what we're really made of, and that we just put coin to what their whole plan is. Whether or not that's good or bad, I cannot decide at this moment. But what I can decide is that at the very least, we got our answers. We know to go deal with the pirates. And hopefully, it'll be a quick enough mess that we can put this all behind us and head back to the guild.
Hopefully, yes.
And you?
I think that our primary mission, this box, is to be delivered to the church, as we established. It's where it will do the most good. Giving it to the mayor is, what is the term that I heard on my way here? A no sale? No deal? Idioms in common are a little unusual to it's not a non-starter, that was it. It would be a bad idea. The pointed look that Mark, the shiftier looking gentleman, gave to my sister and I implied to me that he is connected with some very dark dealings indeed, and one's not native to this shore but to mine. And they're not things that we can trust, not in the slightest. That implication alone is enough for me to want to look into this gentleman further, even if it is simply something my sister and I do on our own, so as to not risk this view. Beyond that, I think that the next step, rest here a night perhaps, regain our strength, sleep in comfort, have a good meal, gather information, plan our next move, our strike on the pirates, to which I think you and your connections, the rapport that you seem to already have made with the shipwrights in town, could perhaps be plumbed for more detail on the pirates and where we might be able to locate, so that we're not searching blind.
Speaking of which, um, I need to be forthright with at least you. Kendall was there, so he saw a little bit of this, but I don't think he took any meaning behind it. The uh, the master shipwright that's in town seems to recognize me.
Oh, really?
Now you have some bad histories, and I have my own. Would you be willing to do me a favor?
It depends, but I'm willing to listen.
If you go to the local guard station or anything and check out their wanted posts, if they have any turtles there, you wouldn't mind taking it down, would you?
It's a little slow smile.
I just don't want the shipwright to maybe recognize me and then double check his recognition there, if you catch my drift.
Of course.
I'm
If I
trusting
happen
you with that.
if I happen to see anything like that, I shall take action about it. Although, do you understand? Anything that you tell me, consider that you are telling my sister as well, but that you can trust my sister's silence as it is absolute.
Why do you think I'm telling you in the first place? I don't think your hands are nearly as nimble.
You might be surprised sometimes, but you're not entirely wrong. We might have started out on an odd foot, Arablast, but I think there could be understanding and partnership between the two of us.
I can agree with you there.
And I'll extend my hand to him.
Ereblest looks at his robotic hand for a second and notices it's still having a slight twitch, and he reaches out his normal hand.
And we will shake.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking to go get supplies in a workplace, I have a few things I need to look for myself. Why don't we take a walk?
I don't see why not.
All right. Now, where would you guys like to go first? As I mentioned before, find to show a blacksmith and a bazaar towards the center of town.
Oh, should we get the others first? They might like a chance to pick up a thing or two.
You're right. We should. But I can see the blacksmith shop from here actually. Um, we could maybe I got all my supplies I need on what's it called? I got all my supplies on Mule, so I could, fix your thing up real quick, and while y'all shopping, I might even get it done while that happens, and you could just come on by and check my progress and see if it's what you want. Sound fair?
Yes, that sounds wonderful.
Well then, shall we both get them, or would you like it if I started progress now?
You can go ahead. I'll go and rejoin the others, and we'll be along short.
Okay. Now, DM, since I'm splitting up from Lishi, I'm going to grab Mule and go to the blacksmith shop, and I'm going to send you a picture of what Arablest is going to be making.
Okay, sounds good. And because you're kind of just heading over to the shop, working out some dealings with the shop, everything there is on the up and up. So I'm actually going to move everybody's vision back to the inn, and we're going to play that out as long as you don't have any other questions.
Nope, no other questions.
Alrighty. Lishi, I'm going to go ahead and air blast you. I'm just kind of put you in the corner up here out of the way. Alright, Lishi, you come back into the bar. Evo is still playing quite the sterling performance and seems to have the majority of the inn joined along in this very fast-paced, upbeat song of hers. Kindle has his beak buried in his mug and seems to be quite enjoying himself, and your sister kind of just watching over everybody. Still a little bit of a twingy look in her eye.
Oh well, that's lively. Everything going well in here?
Juice.
How are you feeling, little friend?
Good.
You don't have any residual warmth, no residual tingle. Everything seems well again.
I will now run up and hug her. Because I can.
And hug. Oh, Lishi?
Yes.
Oh boy, okay. Lishi, you are getting hugged.
I am getting hugged, and there's a moment of yes. I'll pat him on the head.
All right, you're getting patted on the head.
Okay. Now what?
Well, once Evo is done showing off, Arablast has already made his way to the local blacksmith to see if he can't get some work done for me. And I thought we might take a look at the shops, see if there's anything worth spending a little money on. I have some supplies that I do need. And then perhaps we can deliver that package and be done with that.
Okay.
Then I shall sit and watch Evo perform and finish my wine.
All right,
Because it
Evo,
is very good wine.
you're able to see Lishi had come back in and Kindle give her up, and they're kind of the three of them are sitting. I know Lisha's not talking, but the Kindle and Lishi are talking.
Well, I mean, she could talk just with her hands. But Evo
Yeah.
flashes a bright smile at both of them and kind of winks at them and then continues to play in her most dramatic form ever with her little ballet poses and twists and turns as she's playing and just having a good old time up on her stage. Literally tries to take the whole stage from everyone without actually taking the stage from everyone.
Okay, as you finish up your song, one more performance check to make sure you end strong.
Oh man. I don't know about this.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah.
Nice roll. All right. So as you finish up, kind of come to a bow and hold the pose and such, a loud roar of people in the tavern kind of comes up, and they're all standing and clapping and just cheering you on.
Evo does her performance bow, giving the very most dramatic bow ever. It's not a curtsy, it's a bow. She doesn't have this. Her skirt's too short. If she pulled it up, she would flash everyone. So she bows.
Okay. The dancer that's behind you, kind of like leans into your shoulder. Do you want me to go collect your coin, miss?
Yes, please.
Okay, okay. And so she quickly hurries down the stairs, and you see her run up to some of the tables, and she's holding her dress kind of out, away from her, making a small pouch, and start to kind of, you hear coins getting dropped in as she wanders around the bar to each of the tables.
So while she's doing this, Evo's blowing kisses at the guys that the bartender said was a little loose with their coin pockets and just giving them a quick wink to like maybe give me a little bit more without saying it. She's using her body of persuasion to them.
Okay, well, as you do that, one of the gentlemen, this guy right here, go ahead and move him. He stands up and walks past Lishi, Lisha, and Kindle up to the stage. No sort of malice in his step, and you can even see Lishi. You recognize he kind of puts a swagger into his step. He comes up to the stage and he kind of puts his arm on the stage into it. So I liked the way you played that.
Aw. There's more for that later. But I think my friends need me as I look towards Leisha, and she's probably glaring at me saying that she wants to do something.
And he kind of glances to, your friends behind him and he comes back. Big smile on his face. Well, I'm a and could
You're a what?
I'm a bit lonely and could use.
Hmm. How about tonight? I'm pretty sure I'll have a room here at the inn. With the right amount of coin, I can give you a good night.
He just kind of winks and I'll be here. I'll be here.
Okay. And I give him a pat on the cheek as I hop down from the stage and walk over to my friends after I collect my coin from the dancer.
Okay. She comes over to you after you take a seat because it takes her a little to finish collecting. She kind of holds her dress towards you and such. There's a total of 3 gold and 5 silver in her dress.
And I leave the I leave 1 gold for her and I go, "Thank you for the help."
She leans in and kind of like towards your shoulder, and she points over at the table where Lillian, Mark, and Ray and Amber are sitting. They're the ones that gave you the gold, miss.
Oh. And I wave to them.
You see Ray kind of lift the glass that he's drinking, nods at you.
That was fun. I still leave 1 gold for her, and I go, I still appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, of course, of course.
So, what are we doing?
I believe we're going to go check in on Arablast. He went to the blacksmith to start working on something for me, and then seeing perhaps there's anything interesting to be bought here
Oh,
for
yeah.
delivering our package.
We need a couple of. We have a few. What's it called? Health potions, but they might have something worthwhile here. Let's go.
Shopping!
Yeah, let's go shopping. I love shopping. And we go shopping.
Okay,
Yes,
as you guys
finish
go
the
ahead.
remains of my wine there, and
Evo goes,
actually, before we leave, we should set about reserving rooms.
oh, I got that covered. And I walk up to the bar. I go, Ryan.
He turns as he was talking, gentleman, and turns. He's giving you his full attention. Yes, miss.
My friends and I need a room. Is it okay if we have one here?
He
Nishi's
kinda
like
looks-
waving, and Nishi's waving an arm from across the bunch. She holds up 2 fingers.
He looks over. Okay, looks back to you. 2 rooms, I assume.
Yes.
Yes, I have 2 rooms. I can decide for you. I'm gonna be honest with you. They're not my finest. Kind of wrings his hand and glances to the other end of the bar down at Ray, Lillian, and them. And unfortunately, my finest rooms are taken, miss. And I deeply apologize. I wish I could offer you something finer, but how about I give you the 2 rooms, but only charge you for 1? Would that be okay? I mean, I know it's not much, but it's.
I do have my DM. I do have feature popular by demand. You can always find a plate here. I'll just put it in chat for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And since I performed, I was wondering if I could use that.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay. So sorry, my bad. As DM, let me back up here. Because you put on such a fine show, miss, I'd gladly give you the 2 rooms. I mean, normally I'd only be able to offer you 1, but you've really had the crowd going, and I'd love to have you play again if you're still in town, of course. And
Of
so
course.
then I'd be more than happy to give you
I-
the 2 rooms.
Oh, you're just the most sweetest. And if you're lucky, I might give you a treat on the end before I leave.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about your feathered friends' drinks or anything. The apple juice, just something I make locally, and it's nothing to get excited about. But so don't worry about your drinks, and of course for your lovely friend, don't worry about her. Fine. She doesn't need to worry about that at all.
I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. And I give him a quick kiss on the cheek, and I run back over to my friends. We have lodging for the night, and as long as we want.
Free?
Free.
Wow!
I'm pretty good at getting things that I want, at least if I perform. Deals, deals, deals.
Okay, so at this time, I would actually, before we have everybody get into shopping mode, I would like to take a small break. This is also due to kids. So we just need to take one small break, and we'll be back shortly. I'm going to say about a 10, 15 at the absolute longest minute break, just so we can get everybody situated for the night. You guys can kind of think a little bit about shopping needs you need to get done. and then we'll regroup. Does that sound good to everybody?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us as we return back from our break. So let's get on with this shopping trip. As I said, there is a small bazaar and a blacksmith. You guys are able to find here all of the common resources and supplies needed. Nothing magical, though, and nothing extravagant or anything like 500 pieces. So looking at you, Lishi, and when it comes to components, it has to be something that's less than 500 worth you would be able to find here.
Oh, that's fine. So no scrolls of any kind, nothing like that.
Nope, this is a simple farm town. All the stands that
about
you
what I-
see, yep, they're
about what I
produce
expected, but-
stands and things like that, and small crafts like a gentleman built
But-
a little wooden boat.
Specifically, though, I'm looking to get. I'm going to say 30 gold worth of charcoal, incense, and herbs for the purposes of find familiar.
Yes, you can definitely find that kind of stuff. And
Alright.
Arablest, at the blacksmith, you were able to find the things needed to make the item that you were looking for that you showed me. You are able to find that kind of material as
Oh,
if you're looking for a specific price, the blacksmith there, he's pretty well reasonable and such. For 5 gold, he can give you the scrap pieces that you need to make it.
I actually already have scrap.
Oh, okay. Then you just,
Yeah.
what is it you needed from the blacksmith?
I needed a blacksmith. I needed a workstation.
Okay. He has no problem letting you use space.
Awesome. Since I am using my own resources, I have 100 pounds of iron for this. How much would you say that I would use?
How big is this item that you sent me?
It is saddlebag size. Like you can fold it and then just fit it in. It's thin. It's thin iron.
I'd want to lean towards like 5 pounds of iron, not because it weighs that much when you're done with it, just for working it out and everything. That it would take 5 pounds total to refine it down to that. Does that make sense?
That sounds perfectly fine.
Okay.
And then I'll just do the math in my head on how much worth that takes away from my pounds.
Okay, so Micah, actually, when you had gone up to the blacksmith and asked to use his shop and everything, at first he seemed a little reluctant, just kind of giving you that odd look and such. But then he saw Evo walk with you, and after recognizing her and kind of pointed her out and was like, "Was she the one playing at the inn?" And after finding out that Evo wasn't young lady playing at the inn, offered the space for you to work in for free.
Oh,
Oh God. Okay.
Evo is your best friend, Arablast. Evo
Apparently.
is your best friend. Oh.
Sounds like a lie.
Hey, I never said he had to insight this, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so is that what you plan
Don't
on
you
doing
know
for the
she's
rest of the night,
famous?
Arablast? Because it is going
Um,
to take you a while working on that. Something you can hammer out in
I'm
5 minutes.
I'm more than happy with it taking up the rest of the night. I know my friend there needs it.
Tink, tink, tink.
Okay. What would the rest of you like to do for the rest of the evening?
Well, other than our picking up basic provisions, while we're checking in on Arablest, Arablest, is it all right if we take Mule and go deliver our package?
Take what you need.
All
Who's
right.
strong enough to carry the package?
What?
The
You
mule.
need mule. If you need mule, and I just said take what you need, take what you need.
Oh, that means taking mule. Got it. Let's go.
All right. So we
Be
shall
kind, mule.
take Mule by the reins and lead him along to the church, I believe was our decision, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Lisa and Kendall still at the inn?
I
No,
wanna
you
see us
guys
I
were
thought,
all
I thought
gathered up.
everybody went.
Yeah.
Oh, we all go.
Yeah, okay. No, I just couldn't remember.
Are you good?
Yeah, no, everybody was gathered for the shopping trip. Small that it was.
We had
Um,
convened.
You guys make it
I
to
w-
the
I-
church.
I would have been fine with leaving Kindle at the inn if someone hadn't just tried to,
Murder him?
take him.
Take him. Yeah, that's also another one.
It wasn't trying to murder.
Try to take him. Not murder.
Spicy.
All right, you guys make it to the church. No problem.
For protection.
This is the bird protection group now.
Basically.
All right, one of the priests, not someone that you spoke to earlier, this older gentleman, is standing kind of by the door, and you see him kind of just looking outside, and he kind of motions towards you guys as you come walking up towards the church. You see him just kind of waving his hand at you guys.
Hi.
He kind of hobbles towards you guys, and are you the adventurers?
We are, yes.
Do you have the medicine?
We do, yes.
Oh, good, good. The kids really need it. They're getting real sick here.
Kids.
Mm-hmm. And he kind of points. His hand's a little shaky again. He kind of points to the side of the building, and you see a group of kids, about 10 kids, kind of huddled, coughing.
Oh,
We
those
kept
poor
them
things.
outside because they said they were cold inside, so we wanted to get them out in the sun and try to warm them up the best we could. But the guild said they were sending medicine with some adventurers.
Well, yes, I believe that's us.
He kind of looks to the three of you, or four of you. He kind of pauses on Kindle. Not in a bad way, just one of those, the fuck? Okay.
Hi.
Looks back at Lishi. The medicine?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
well, it's right here. It's in the package on the mule. Where should we leave it?
Well, let's take it to the kids. Let's take it over to them.
Right, lead the way.
Okay, he hobbles towards the kids, and a few of them are laying down. Most of them are just kind of talking to each other. They look to be, around the age of like 10, 12. So still pretty young, but they have that look like I'm more mature than letting on. So he kind of leans down by one of, looks to be the oldest kid, and gets him, he kind of motions for the boy to stand up and come help and come help. And so the old man and this kind of kid hobble over and such. And
I'll help him.
Hold on. Can I roll in?
Yeah,
Does
me
something
too.
seem off about this?
go ahead, you can roll an
Well,
insight
just-
if you'd like.
Can I
Want
also?
to be.
You- If
certain.
anyone would like to roll an insight, I'm not going to deny on.
Actually, can I roll investigation? I want to physically.
Garbage.
Wait.
Can I see if there's
Insight?
anything like weird about
That
the
I did not mean to
church?
do that.
What
Add
we're
2
looking
to
at.
that.
I'll let you just
So-
re-roll, Evo. It's okay.
Thanks.
Yes, you can do an investigation check. Leisha.
Ah,
Okay.
God.
Kendall!
Oh my god!
Level 3,
Holy
everyone.
Heck,
Oh,
Kendall.
level 3. Kindle, help.
Wow.
Kendall, please.
Kindle, thanks. Whoa, wait, Kindle with the insight check.
Kendall,
on.
the cleric, as
Oh,
you're
the
looking
cleric.
over these kids, you can tell that it's actually a bad case of the flu from what you just looking at these kids. You can see that they're kind of sweaty, a little bit shaky and everything, and kind of. You can tell that, yeah, they're sick, and it seems to be, the flu.
Blue.
Eva puts a mask, pulls out a
Right.
scarf, and just kind of covers her face.
These children will hold fast for another moment. Sister, watch the box. Don't let anyone Don't let anyone at it just yet. I trust you, sir, and I can see these children need help. But where I come from, there's a saying, trust but verify. I'm going to go into the church and make sure this is appropriate.
He kind of looks like sad. Okay.
And I'm going to walk away from them. I'm going to walk into the church and I'm going to look for one of the people we spoke to before.
All right, there was the female priestess. I say that loosely. That you had found before. She's standing, kind of talking to some people that are sitting in one of the pews.
Excuse me.
She was the one that you guys ran into first when you first got to the church, and she had gone and gotten that other gentleman for you guys. She looks up. Oh, you're back.
Yes. We have ascertained that this is where the package is supposed to go. Sorry for the delay. We were stopped by a gentleman outside who claims that the medicine is to be used for some children.
She nods very quickly. We took the kids outside. They said that they were cold. We figured the
Right.
sun and air might do them some good.
All right.
We don't have any healers in town, so the best that we could do was send for some medicine. Unfortunately, the guild was 10 days away, so we had to wait for them to send it back or send adventurers back with medicine.
All right. Well, are you busy at the moment? Would you like to come outside and help us get this?
Of course. Oh my gosh, yes, of course.
All right.
Could Kendall look at the kids while she goes do that?
Yeah.
Oh heck yeah, brother.
Can I help
And now
him?
you're healed. And now you're healed. And now you're healed.
I mean, I'm not exactly a healer,
Oh
but...
okay.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
yeah, never
Kendall.
mind.
All right. So
Yeah.
as you kind of hop up towards one of the kids and such, as they're kind of like coughing and such, and you quickly inspect them the best you can, it's a severe case of the flu. It looks like if not treated, it would easily go into pneumonia.
Is there a way to cure them? Without the medicine?
With medicine, yes, or magic would be the other one, because you can use cure disease.
Oh, I don't have that. I have only cure wounds.
Wait, let me double check my spell.
Otherwise, Kindle, yes, with proper medicine that it can be cured.
Cure disease not active.
Oh.
Aww.
I have cure wounds, not cure disease.
Yeah, I have
This
cure
is
wounds.
Kindle's
not a
doing
wound.
tomorrow morning.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, worst case scenario could always come back.
Yeah. Would my healing hands help?
It would relieve symptoms, but it would not cure them. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I can only use it once a day, so I'm not going to pick a kid and be like, hey,
Would
you.
I know anything that would help relieve them, like any remedies or anything like that?
If you had the raw ingredients, but when you were down in the town and such, you don't have all the ingredients. You could at most make something to just help relieve symptoms, but it wouldn't actually be helping to cure them. It would just be making them feel a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So, Lishi
Sorry.
and the priestess come walking out of the building, out of the church.
On my way back out, I'm going to pull a bit of spare cloth out of my bag, and I've been learning medicine. I'm actually, I think, proficient in it now.
You are proficient
I
in it now, yes.
Which I believe there would be enough understanding of medicine at this point in societal development to understand mask good.
Yes, that has
So
been
I shall
established.
wrap that cloth around myself to cover my mouth and my nose dealing with people who are sick.
Okay.
Actually, it's not even a bit of cloth. I actually have a mask that is identical to my sister's. So,
Well, at least it looks like it is.
on surface level, yes.
Okay. All right, you guys watch as Lishi puts on this mask and comes walking up with the priestess.
Oh, yay.
And she looks over at you and, where is the medicine?
I point to
It
the
is
box on
right
the
here. Let us get this off of Mule so that they can open it. We are not supposed to be the ones who open the box. You will have to do that. But once it's open and you've verified its contents and that this is correct, I at least would be more than happy to help you administer it to these children.
That's
Of
not
course.
really my area of expertise, so I let the cleric and I guess you do that.
All right, so she helps you take it off of me, set it down on the. It's just a. I want to say I can't remember if it was 10 or 25. I told you guys. Either way, it's a
I
crate.
believe it was 25. That
Yeah,
it was
it's
enough.
okay.
It was enough that it would have been difficult for any one of us to just carry outright.
Okay. So she helps you lower it, set it on the couch. She's able to open the crate up, and inside is a bunch of raw herbs and small vials of liquid, a couple of other like pastes and things like that, and a scroll that's all rolled up. And so she grabs the scroll and she unrolls it. And she's reading through it, and she goes, "Oh, it's a checklist of everything. Hang on, let me just count everything." And she starts counting, and she goes, "Okay, 8 files." 10, okay, 10 of those, and yep, 2 bundles. Okay, yeah, everything here is on the list. It says I'm supposed to sign this. Does anyone have a quill with them? Otherwise, I could run inside.
Yes, no, I have one here, and I'll pull out my personal. I'll have Leisha turn around so I can get into our bag and
Yep.
pull out my personal ink and quill and offer them to her.
Okay, she quickly, scratches, not a very pretty signature. She just quickly scratches her name on and says, all there. And she kind of like sets it across Mule so that the paper can dry, and hands you back your quill and everything. She goes, "Okay, I wrote down that everything was there in the box."
Thanks.
All right.
Okay, it's so I think, and she pulls out a couple of the vials. I think this is the medicine. It was the paper said that the vials were the liquid that was meant for the children that were sick. The other stuff is provisional. So I think this is all we need to give them, is vials. So she hands you about 5 vials and goes about getting the kids to drink. Each of the kids to drink a vial of medicine.
I shall give several of those vials to Kindle and say, "The little ones will love you. Go."
Okay.
Aw.
Yay!
Evo steps
Healing.
Evo steps back with Lishi. I go, "You want to go back to the inn and drink a little more?"
Oh,
Oh,
I
Lishi,
think I will.
not Lisha. The other
I
twin
will-
that's silent.
I at least want to stay here long enough to see that these children have been treated. Yes, I want to make sure this is going to be all right.
I look towards her sister since I got their names mixed up because it's not on screen anymore. No, do you want to go back to the tavern and drink a bit?
I give you kind of a look,
Okay, I'll drink.
and I point to my mask again.
I'll drink. You can sit there and you can keep me company. How about that?
I kind of point to my sister.
She's fine. She's with Kendall. Come on. Listen up. Let's have a little fun.
She's completely frozen. Has no idea what to do.
Come on. And Evo just kind of gently tugs on her, sleeve. Come on.
Leans away from you.
Fine, party pooper. I'll go to the bar and have fun with the guys. Jeez. And I leave.
All right, so you head back to the bar. I'm going to go ahead and focus them at the church, and then we'll switch over to you in just a moment. Okay, Evo?
Let's just say I'm gonna go find that guy I was talking to earlier. I go in my own room. We'll just
Okay.
leave it at that.
That's fine. Not a problem.
Oh my.
Ryan is happy to give you both the keys to the 2 rooms that you have for when you show up.
And I go have fun.
Okay, sounds good. So, Kendall, being the mascot of this group, as you come up to the kids, couple kids are too sick to really give you much notice. They're really wore out. They're just kind of laying there. And you help give them the medicine, but the ones that are a little bit more awake, not quite as sick, are just completely enthralled by you. They just the biggest eyes. They're completely just 100% focused on you, and they think you're just the coolest thing, and very happily accept the medicine from you, and just they're can we pet you, and oh you're so cute, and what are you, and I don't know what he is.
Kenku!
They all kind of chuckle and just basically are getting swarmed by kids. Lishi
This is great.
and Leisha, you just watch as like all the kids, the ones that are able to, that are feeling well enough, just kind of swarm around Kindle, touch him, and just like kind of look nervous around him.
I'll give
Basically
a
being
little,
kids.
a little smile at that, but then I'll turn my attention towards the ones that are too sick to do that, and make sure I give them, the treatments that I kept. I had 5. We'll say I gave 3 of them to Kindle. I'll take the other 2 to some of the ones that seem very sick. Give
Okay.
them the medicine. Maybe take a bit of cloth or something and put some water from my water skin on it. Wipe their brows. Pay some genuine attention to them. Reassure them.
He's just gonna stand next to Meal and kind of scratch her cheek.
Okay.
The Meal's cheek, not her cheek. Had to clarify that.
Leechy, give me a medicine check, and you do have advantage on that.
Leisha is bound and determined to become friends with that mule.
Slowly over time.
Oh my!
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no.
This is the first time where she's had to apply her knowledge.
That's true.
I think it's less that and more just the gods of fortune are not with me today.
Well, none of us.
Actually.
You're kind of like doing your best to help this little kid that's sweating really bad. You're kind of like you said, you're wiping at their brow a little bit, just kind of getting flooded with memory as you're kind of doing this. So, but the medicine does seem to help the kids stop, like quite shaking as much, and it's not an instantaneous kind of thing, but it's like maybe the kid's starting to sleep a little bit deeper, not quite as restful as when you first knelt down by the kid.
Well, even if I'm not doing much good, at least the medicine is.
The old man kind of
It's
hobbles
all right.
over and, "Thank you, ma'am," and turns towards Kindle, and, "You too, bird thing. Thank you."
Welcome!
Yes, you're quite welcome. I have a bit of a soft spot for the little ones, so it's the least I could do.
He holds his hand out towards you, Lishi, and he has like this small little bundle. It looks like something that's just wrapped in a cloth, and he's holding it out with his hand towards you, slightly shaking.
I'll accept it.
It's a little small piece of bread, and he goes, "It's not much. It's just what I have left from my lunch, but please take it."
Oh, you're too kind, sir. Thank you. And I'll put that away in a pouch. Figure out what I'm going to do with it later, but all right. Well, it seems this is in hand then.
Definitely. It seems like the kids have perked up a little bit and are kind of receptive to the medicine and really excited about Kindle. And the priest and the priestess are doing their best to kind of just, make the kids feel comfortable.
All right.
Yay, non-sick kids.
Well, then it seems the 2 of you have matters in hand here, and with what's been delivered to you, you should be able to tend to them.
The priestess, as you guys kind of start to walk away, as you turn, she goes, Wait, wait. Um, do you. Hang on. I was supposed to have a letter for you. Wait here, please. Let me go check.
Of course, of course. While she's stepped away to go check, I'm going to make sure is the documentation dried.
Yes, the documentation is dried.
Good. I'll roll it up and make sure that it's bound and put it into mine and Leisha's bag so that we know where it is.
Okay. The priestess, after just a couple moments, she comes running out with a small scroll, and it has a wax seal that's stamped, and it's the guild seal on it. And she goes, I'm supposed to give this to any of the adventurers that delivered supplies.
All
And she
right.
hands it over to you, Leash.
And it's got a wax seal on it, you said?
Yep, has a wax seal from the guild.
All right. Well, I'll put that into my pouch directly, and thank you. I'll go over that with the rest of my party this evening.
I hope it helps. They told us not to read it, but that it was of the utmost important that whoever was able to deliver medicine got a copy. We have a couple more scrolls, but whoever delivered medicine was supposed to get one. I'm so sorry I didn't bring it with.
Oh,
First time.
it's all right. The children were much more important. I understand.
Truly, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm not familiar with your gods, but you're doing their work, and I hope they watch over you.
And to you as well. She kind of bows a little bit and turns to go back to the children.
All right, you two, let's go make sure that Evo isn't getting into too much trouble, yes? Although we should take Mule back to Arablast first. I know he'll be missing her.
Okay.
So we'll trot Mule back over to Arablast and stick our head in, let him know that things have been handled.
Okay, you've made pretty good you've made pretty good
Where's
word is
where's my dog?
Tied to Mule.
your dog is tied to
They're
Mule.
tied to the mule.
Okay, okay, cool. I'm just like, where's my dog been? It's just like, shit, I forgot about my dog.
When they
Where
come
has
in,
Flip-
Erebus
where has
just gives
Flip
them a
been?
quick nod of the head.
It's kinda like,
You can see that he's been working enough at the forge that he actually has his hat off. And he's given a little bit of a sweat.
Working hard on the forge.
It's hot in here.
Yeah.
He works hard for his money.
I was
Works
just thinking
hard
that.
for his
Look at those
money.
big turtle muscles working.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Big
mm.
turtle muscles.
You know that it's probably going to take you here at the forge for you to finish up Airless.
Mm. Okay. That's fine.
So,
You are at a time though, project that you'd be able to stop to talk. Like you can set down what you're doing, and it won't
Right.
affect anything.
So
Progress coming along nicely?
Oh, definitely. I think I'll have it done at least before bedtime, perhaps.
Wonderful.
Few strands of metal, all it is, few nails. Easy enough for me to make. What kind of information have you set forth and gained?
Well, we have delivered the package to the church. It was medicine intended for sick children, actually.
Hmm.
So we made sure that the medicine was, in fact, administered to those children. And it was nice to see them get some sort of relief from whatever was wrong with them. I'm not entirely certain.
Sort of a nudge. Vichy shoulder.
Kendall
Yes.
knows.
Just in a. I know you're secretly soft kind of way.
Oh, you. So, I believe that perhaps we've got one other errand to run. Give Ereblast a bit of a significant look. But once we're done with that, we're going to head back to the inn. We were given a letter upon delivery of the package, and once we're all assembled this evening, we shall open it and see what its contents are.
We're like assembled in the morning. Unless you go and interrupt.
We have to sleep in there. You're getting interrupted one way or another.
There are 2 rooms.
We have to sleep in there. You're getting interrupted one way or another. Not packing 4 people into a room. Are you mad?
No? Realistic for Evo.
At any rate, so keep at it, I suppose, Ereblast. I'm not sure what the. Yes. Anyway, let's go.
Hmm.
And once we're done there, I'm going to turn to the other 2. I have something I'm wanting to look at. Are you 2 willing to come along with me for a moment?
Who are you looking at?
The 2 of you, and Leisha.
Okay.
Leisha had to step away from the mic for a moment, but she would agree to that, yes.
Right, and I'm going to lead us along towards the guard post in this town.
Okay.
Okay.
There is a guard post at each end. I'm not sure how well. Let me get that out of the way. How well you can see that there is one here and one over here. So
We'll go towards the nearest one, which is, I believe, the one on the top
Yep.
corner of the map.
Yep, that is correct.
And once we've arrived, I'm going to see, are there any wanted posts? Any bills posted?
You don't see any wanted posters up on this guild or up on this not guild. Sorry, pardon me, on this building. The little guard post that they have there. There's 2 men. They look kind of sleepy. Pretty your standard cookie cutter guard. One of them looks over as you walk up, and he gets a small smile on his face and, okay, something I can help you with, miss?
Oh no, we're just having a look around, making sure this town is well defended, which clearly it is.
And he kind
We
of
did
puffs his chest.
We did encounter some things on the road, but knowing that this there's a guard post along the road here is a bit of comfort.
His smile gets a bit bigger, and he puffs his chest. And of course, there we have quite a few fine gentlemen that protect this town, and you'll be able to sleep easy in these walls. Kind of looks around these buildings and know that we'll definitely take care of any trouble that comes this way.
Well, there's only so many kinds of trouble you guys can deal with, though. I've heard tell something of pirates. Is there anything you might know about?
He kind of cocks his head and scrunches his nose up. And pirates? Pirates are on water. I mean, we haven't had any here that I know of. We've had some pretty weird people through here before, but nothing that looks like a pirate that I've seen.
All right. I suppose I'll have to inquire in other quarters to get more information on that. Thank you very much. Keep up your diligence. You are a credit to your town.
He smiles and thank you, miss.
All right. And the guard post, they have a tower here.
Yes, that guard post that you're standing by is kind of like 2 stories, so as much as a tower as it could be. But on your way over to that guard post, you did notice you walked past the barrack.
All right. On our way back past, are there any bills anywhere around within the barracks that we can see anything
You see some public notices that have been hung up, but nothing about, bounties or wanted or anything like that. The couple bills that were hung up, they're public announcements. They seem to be, there's a like a not a farmers market, but there's like a big fair coming up soon, for people to bring certain things, and they talk about a harvest that's going to be happening soon. So it just seems to be your general public notice,
All right.
but no wanted posters.
No want to post it. I suppose I'll lead us back to the other guard post then.
Okay.
Only on our way up to this one, I'm going to kind of pull my sister aside, separate from us, and while I'm distracting the guards, see if you can't get a look inside their post. What we're looking for are wanted posters, specifically any that are looking for a total. I'll explain later.
I said she had a stepboy, so she got that.
Is she still not back yet?
Feline friend that decided to get into, so she'll be back in just a moment.
Oh, feline trouble is the worst trouble.
It is the worst trouble. Felines don't.
Eline's a dumbass. Alright, I'm back.
If you want to just repeat what you said,
to
Lishi.
reiterate, making our way to the other guard post, I'm pulling Leisha aside, saying, while I distract the guards, myself and Kindle, see if you can't make your way up into their tower and have a poke. See if you see any wanted bills, specifically for a total. I'll explain later. If you do see any, take it.
I nod.
Okay.
You and I, Kindle, will just make sure the guards are nice and busy.
Ooh. Game?
Perhaps, or just be your wonderful distracting self, and I'll give him a little pat on the head.
Hmm.
Oh my god, Lishi just pet Kendall.
Can I hug the guards?
Oh no.
You might.
I mean, you can.
I want to try to
So?
hug a guard.
So we'll make our way to that other guard post now.
All right. You see a younger. The kid looks to be almost 16, a very young man, and a
Oh.
gentleman, mid 20s to 30s, standing with him. Again, they have that kind of sleepy, cookie cutter quality to them.
Hi.
They both kind of startle and turn around, and
I'm gonna.
this 16-year-old just kind of gives a slow wave.
I'm gonna walk
Hello.
up and look at them and put my arms out and say hug.
The 16-year-old just kind of looks at the other guard. And the older guard looks amused as hell. He goes, "Sure, kid." So the 16-year-old, okay, come here, child. I'll give you a hug. Then he kind of kneels down so that he can hug.
Oh,
Yay!
Kindle, you're incorrigible, Kindle. No, we just adventurers in town for a day, just coming and making sure everything's all right at the guard post, that everything's nice and calm.
The 16-year-old stands up, holding Kendall, kind of like a toddler, and just holding him. And I think we're doing okay. There's not really anything going on, and thank you for bringing your. He kind of looks at Kendall and looks back at you, Lishi.
Companion.
Companion,
Keku!
Kenku, along for your adventures. This is pretty exciting. The older guard is just laughing. He's just laughing at everything that's going.
So everything is good then. Well, we had seen some issues on the road here, but it seems like you've all got things well in hand here. The guard in this town seems to be quite capable. I do have to ask though, we've heard some buzz about pirates on the waters. Obviously, that's not something you'd have ever had to deal with guarding roads like this, but I'm wondering if there might be anything that you know about.
The boy almost looks confused. He goes pirates, and the older gentleman kind of, oh, you're talking about our supplies. Uh,
Yes.
I do part time over at the shipyard. Uh, yeah, we've had a bit of trouble getting our supplies in. That's why we haven't had any ships in lately. But the foreman likes to say that yeah, it's pirates and such. I think he's just being a bit overprotective and such. But I don't know. It happens. You just sometimes you don't get ships in. I don't think it's anything to raise a fuss about and say it's pirates right away. You should hear the guy. He goes off on pirates when he can.
Hmm. Does he seem like he's being on the level here?
He does.
All
You
right.
can give me an insight check if you'd like that.
I would just to be certain.
Not a problem. Ooh,
Oh,
nice.
Ooh,
You are
Nice.
that's
very
spicy.
what are
certain.
what are his deepest, darkest secrets, Dungeon Master?
Well, you
I would
see, when
like to
he
know.
was 13. um, nice roll.
So he seems he's telling me the truth as he knows it.
He's telling you the truth as he knows it, but he seems very flippant about it, just very dismissive. I mean, it's like pirates. You can't blame everything on pirates. Maybe we just aren't, pulling ships in because what does this town really have to offer? It's not like it's Dawnport. We're not some bustling city. Why would a ship want to come here?
Well, I mean, Dawnport wasn't built in a day either. Perhaps what this town just needs is a breath of life, something new and exciting to bring people here. Perhaps your mayor might have some ideas on that.
That useless guy? Oh man. He never even comes out of the house. He'll send out
Really?
public notices. He just kind of like set them out and someone has to put them up. Like that spineless man isn't going to do anything for this town.
Well, if he's so useless, how is he still the mayor? How has he not been run out of town yet?
He kind of looks around. Well, who else are you going to get to do?
I don't know. You? It could be it could be anyone who has the best interests of this town in mind and a willingness to do the job.
Me? A mayor? I don't. I mean, it's like what? He just kind of looks around. I would know the first thing. Like, what does a mayor even do? Like, I don't know what he does in his house, and he obviously puts out public notices. And
Well,
what would I do?
I could say that a mayor would do much more than what I seem to have heard that this mayor does. Taking a more proactive response, being involved in the rising of this town, making sure that everything is going well, is organized. Honestly, someone who's well enough organized in their own life to manage a job as a guard and a part-time job at the shipyard, knowing what's going on, knowing who to trust, who not to trust, what might be exaggerated. You've already got some of the required skills. As for the rest, you learn by doing. As I said, you or anybody with a willingness to do the job. You're not stuck with someone who's useless. Keep that
He,
in mind.
he kind of plants his spear in the ground and just kind of like leans on it. And a mayor? I mean,
You
now he
never know.
looks like he's really thinking about it. I don't even know what I would do. Like, how do I even become a mayor? Do I just like tell the other mayor that I'm a mayor? Like, how does that even happen?
Well, you talk with the others in town, you build a rapport with them, and you make it clear to them that things could be done better. It seems like so many other people in this town already agree with that sentiment, that if you built enough support around it, the man wouldn't have a choice but to either yield his station or be forced out. And if this town is truly stagnant, if ships are not coming here because there's nothing worth coming here for, that's a dire need. A need that your mayor is failing to address. That's enough grounds for the people of this town to consider other avenues.
He really looks to be thinking, quite hard about this, and he kind of like rocks back and forth a little bit into his spear. And I mean, I suppose, but how do you even begin to approach someone with, like that kind of confidence and such? I mean, I don't know if I have that. Would I just walk up to someone and like put my hand out and say hi? I be mayor. Like, how do you tell people what you mean?
Start with people you trust. People who know you, your friends. And tell them, things need to change here and maybe I could do a better job. And of course, there might be some of them who will laugh and say, oh, you couldn't manage that. But the ones who say you might be onto something, they'll talk to others. They'll tell them, hey, things aren't going well in this town, but there's a friend of mine who says he could do better. Maybe he could. And before you know it, you've built a groundswell of support. And once you have that, it will spread. Belief and faith breed belief and faith. And soon enough, you'll have enough of the town behind you that you might be able to make it happen.
Huh. Well, now you're starting to kind of sound like some of them church folk over there. But maybe you're onto something. I mean, I suppose I mean, a guard would be just as good as a mayor as anybody else, right?
Entirely possible, yes. And
Well,
after all, the safety of a town is one of a mayor's chief concerns, and who better equipped to approach such ideas as someone who has been directly involved?
Kindle, you and the guard that's holding you kind of look at each other, and then you look back at the conversation that's going on.
Pets?
The guard holding you starts kind of petting you. um, Lishi, the guard
Birds could purr.
right, the guard that you're persuading here in a career choice, kind of stands up just a little bit straighter, and he holds his hand out to you. I'm Christopher.
Lishala, it's a pleasure.
Lishiala. I think I'm gonna try to be the mayor because I think I could do a better job than than who's already doing it.
That's the spirit.
Thank you, Lishiala. That really helped. Wow. I mean, boy, I got a lot of work ahead of me. I mean, if that guy became mayor, why can't I?
Exactly. You seem like someone who wants change by the sound of your voice, the way you talked about it. And the best way to see change happen is to make it happen yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I can make this place better. And why I can make it the next Dawnport even. Just put in some hard work, and I'm sure people will see that and want to come here. And who knows, maybe we get bigger than Dawn even. Who knows?
Who knows indeed? The sky is the limit as long as you don't restrict yourself.
Now that the guy has eyes in his or stars in his eyes, Lishi comes sneaking back up to the unnoticed by the two guards that have been getting a prep talk and career change and holding a small bird. Lisha, do you signal to your sister that you're done?
I was going to say, I've certainly bought her enough time being the fucking devil down here.
Lisha, you're muted still.
I just, casually slip up back next to her.
All right, well, it would seem that I've given you plenty to think about. I'll leave you to it. Remember, start small, start with your friends. Let the word grow. Soon enough, you'll have that support you need.
Thank you. Thank you.
I hope to hear good things, Christopher.
The 16-year-old reluctantly sets you down, Kindle. Bye-bye, little guy.
Bye.
You're such a fucking mascot.
Have a wonderful day, both of you.
They kind of wave you off as you guys walk away.
As we're walking away, I'll look to my sister. Any luck?
I just show her the wanted poster that I grabbed.
I'm going to take it. I'll just...
Just wait. It is not a turtle.
Yeah, it's not a turtle. It's just a human that's been wanted.
No turtles?
No turtles.
I just kind of look at you and shrug, and I point to the amount and everything.
It's only for 25 gold. It seems that a human has stolen sheep.
Oh, a sheep thief. Well, this is not terribly interesting to us, although if we encounter the man, certainly we could turn him in for something. All right, back to the inn then. I think I've changed enough lives for the day.
Okay. As you make it back into the inn, we're getting close to sunset here. Arablast, you are just wrapping up with your project. You're pretty much putting on the final touches.
Oh. That's good.
And Evo, you are wrapping up with your friend and now have come to the decision of, do you let him stay or do you kick him out?
We'll just chat in the room.
Okay. Lisha, and Kindle, as you guys make it into the inn, you see Ryan from behind the bar kind of waving you guys down. Move everybody back there. And like I said, as you guys kind of walk in, Ryan is trying to flag you over to him.
I point at Ryan, and I tap my sister on the shoulder.
Oh, is Arabless there too?
Arabless, you're going to be showing up in just a little bit.
Oh, he just wanted to make sure.
Yep, you're good.
I shall go over to him. Hello? Seems we're done with our business for the day, and I think we'll be needing our room keys.
That's what I was trying to get you guys over here for, was your other friend, your fine violin playing friend. You already got your rooms.
Oh, really? Tell me, was she alone?
Not when she was going to the rooms, for sure.
I immediately start heading to the stairs.
Oh, no, sister, wait.
Nope, I'm walking. I'm just walking.
Oh, I'd better go make sure this doesn't turn into bloodshed.
Okay, Lisha, you guys run up the stairs, and Kindle, you
I don't
guys...
run.
Okay, sorry, you power walk up the stairs.
Stalk. There you go. I stalk.
Stalk up the stairs. Kindle, you're left standing at the bar, and Ryan looks down at you. Apple juice?
Yes.
You can trust Ryan. I like Ryan.
Alright, so Ryan he grabs him up. some of the apple juice, and he hands it down to you. Here you go, buddy. He kind of points to the bench in front, or the stool in front of him. Do you need help getting up there, friend?
No.
Okay. If you need anything else, little guy, just let me know.
Okay.
All right, Kendall, you're standing there with your mug of apple juice.
It's great. This is all I need. Whatever shenanigans. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna take my apple juice up there and see what's gonna happen, and keep drinking my apple juice.
Following behind.
Okay, so as you disappear
Oh,
into the
yeah.
back, following the other two, Arablest, you come into the. You don't notice them heading out. They've already exited. So when you come in, it's just you entering into the bar.
I guess I'm gonna go to the bar then and so barkeep, how are you holding today?
He just kind of smiles. You guys sure are interesting bunch, that's for sure. Your
Have you seen
friends,
the others?
yeah, your friends just came through here, and I gotta say, it's been quite interesting having you guys.
Did they already take care of the rooms for me?
Yes, they already took care of the room. Although two of your friends, the two that look very similar, were not too happy to hear that the violin player had taken someone else to the room for you guys.
Oh, wonderful. Uh, but by any chance, could you have a maid bring me up a cabbage soup, perhaps, to the room, and maybe a bottle of some dwarvish mead?
Sure, I can have one of them run it over. Are you gonna let the ladies and the little one figure out everything first, or are you gonna go throw your hat into the fray?
I'm just gonna go say hi, see how everything's going, get their attention, hopefully, and if there's no attention to be had, well, I'm just gonna wait for my food and my drink and just enjoy the night, I suppose.
Okay, I wish you the best of luck, friend.
What do I owe you for the food and drink?
Oh, it's okay. The show that your friend put on has made everyone's purse a little bit loose after getting so rowdy, so you guys are okay.
Mm. Well, that is quite the fine incident. Thank you for being so hospitable. I'll remember your establishment next time I ever come in town.
I appreciate it, and please let anyone else that's be passing through let them know about Centaur's Hoof Inn.
Of course, more than a pleasure. And Arliss is going to leave the bar and start heading towards the rooms.
Okay, as you guys, as Lishi and Lisha make their way down the hall, you can hear Evo giggling from one of the rooms.
Just like that.
Just like that. Just like that. All right, Lisha.
I'm going to check the doorknob.
Evo, did you lock it?
Yeah, I locked it.
It's locked. Hey, Rogue, the door's locked.
I'm gonna pick it.
Sleight of hand, I
I'm
believe.
gonna roll my hand. Nope. That would be a thief's tool.
Oh, okay.
Check.
Sorry, go ahead. Yes, kitty.
Did I open up the cheap indoor?
Lishi, as you were trying to come up behind your sister, you see her drop down to a knee real fast, pull out her tools, and you swear to God this is the fastest you've ever seen. Didn't
She's
even hesitate.
Getting better at that.
She truly is. So within seconds, you have it done. Yeah. Evo, you hear a bunch of kind of clatter noise by the door after had been checked, and the door is now opening.
Oh, no, I turn and I keep the door open.
Never mind, the door is kicked open.
And as
What?
she's kicking open the door, I'm going to wiggle my fingers, and I'm going to use prestidigitation to create a sort of a burst of wind and light as she does, just this dramatic effect.
You know, I gotta say, your guys' cock blocking ability is.
I mean, she's already had her fun.
Oh,
She was just
I mean,
talking-
yes,
if
but-
we're doing this, we're going full bore.
I see that.
I mean, Evo's already halfway dressed at this point.
Okay, so as Evo, as you were scrambling out of the bed and everything,
Whatever afterglow there was, it's gone.
there was. That was shattered with a storm. So the door slams open in a gust and lights are flashing. Where the gentleman in your bed is very concerned, very confused, and what the hell is going on?
Evo shushes him. It's okay, okay. Twins, if you wanted to join, all you had to do was ask. You don't have to borrow a gym.
I'm just gonna walk. Is this guy naked at all?
Yep, he's naked in the bed. He's got the
Alright.
blanket pulled up over.
Is he a big guy at all? Is he?
No, he's your average farmer. He's like 5'10", 5'11". He's tall, but he's a
Is
farmer.
there a window in this room?
Oh no!
What's your strength?
I'm asking if there's a window in this room.
Can I walk in now?
Kindle, you walk in holding your apple juice.
Wow. Wait,
Oh,
are they
God.
naked?
I mean, Evo's like got
Wait, are they?
underwear
Are they?
on
Are they?
now.
Okay.
Yeah, but her
Yeah,
back
Evo's
is
got
covered.
underwear.
She has
The gentleman in the bed does
a,
not have anything.
Oh,
cloak on over her, so she can easily cover herself. if-
penis.
He's got a blanket over his lap.
Okay.
Man,
I'm
you
gonna- I'm just-
really
I'm
wanted
just
to
gonna-
go for it, didn't you?
I'm just gonna point at the lump.
I see. Kindle is playing the penis game. From down the hall, Arablest, you hear Kindle yell, penis. Yes, there is a window in this room.
Is it like just like a glass pane? Does it open at all?
I don't like you right now.
Oh no!
You don't even know what I'm gonna do. You think you know what I'm gonna do.
Yes, it's an openable window. It just like hinges out so that it's just like popped open. I don't know if you know what a European window looks like.
Yeah.
Yep, it's just so that it can pops open, but not like open up. You can't fit a body through the window.
Fine. I'm gonna drop one of my daggers, point it at him, point it at the door.
Licia. There's
He
no
qu-
reason.
He quickly.
I put
I'm not
my
doing anything.
I put my
Shut
my finger up at you. Just shut up. Point at him.
That is
Look at the
rude.
door.
Why are
He
you
scrambles
kicking him
over the side
out?
of the bed and grabs up his clothes and holds them to his private and
It's been fun,
runs.
sweetie. Bye. Sorry, my friends are assholes.
Gosh. We got a follower. Hello.
Oh, hey, follower. You came
What?
in at the perfect time.
As this naked
It
man
was a
holds his
time.
clothes in front of himself, he quickly covers himself and runs past Kindle holding his apple juice and runs out the door. Arablest, you watch as this man with no clothing on is grabbing himself and running past you.
Arablest is just gonna start walking up to the room. So, what did I miss?
I'm gonna is like how gross is the bed?
I can resolve that in a trice if it's a problem, but
It's the sheets are rumpled, but no, it's not great.
I look at my sister.
all right, I'll wiggle my fingers at the bed and use prestidigitation to clean anything that might not be clean.
The sheets straighten out, and the bed looks new again.
I put my dagger away.
Now, I'm guessing, Evo, you were getting information.
Yes, definitely.
Uh,
For sure.
What by chance have you found?
He's very good at sex.
Anything else?
No.
Well, if it don't
It's
trouble the
been
rest of
10 days. I was really kind of hoping for no, interruptions. Good thing we finished, though.
No, I understand you. I feel the same. I miss my wife. But if it's all too much trouble to oblige, I may have found us some information while I was smithing.
Oh, well,
Oh,
let me
really?
get dressed. Come on in, everyone.
Kendall, you're just in the
Naughty.
doorway.
Yes, Kendall. Evo closes the door. And as awkward as this is, but Evo keeps her back towards the wall. And as she gets dressed, she keeps the cloak on as she puts her skirt and everything on, but like keeps awkward as she kind of takes off the cloak to put on her shirt. And then
Does
immediately
anyone
puts
turn
her-
around?
Yeah, I am actually gonna turn, not face her, and I'm gonna kind of step
I'll,
kind of in front of her.
I'll focus on my juice.
Just
You
my
drunk little
arms
bird.
crossed.
It's a juicy
Frankly,
situation.
looking pretty self-satisfied with myself.
All right. Evo, you're able to get dressed rather quickly.
Yeah,
No.
I just keep everything like my front is showing, but I keep my shoulders as close to the wall as possible so no
Yep.
one can look behind me.
You're good.
So,
Yeah, well, I believe that I'll join my sister and creating a screen for her.
Arbalest is
Thanks.
looking the other way, seeing as I think he's the only male figure. Yeah, no, I'm not going to count Kindle as a male figure.
Kendall's a
Uh,
mascot.
He is
Yeah.
he is a
He-
he is a tiny bird.
Yeah, so
He's a-
He
Arbalest
does
is
not
going to
count as
be
either.
Arbalest is going to be nice, and he's going to be sitting away, looking towards the small window.
Okay. So now that Evo's dressed,
yes. Now that I'm dressed, what do you all want?
Well, we'll start with your information then, Arablast, and then once you're done, I will pull out the letter from my pouch and sort of wave it in the air. I have the results of our delivery.
Wonderful. Um, to put it brief, I figured out the name as well as the knowings of the pirates, or at least the captain of what's been going on. His name's Blacktooth. Uh, he's a up and comer within the pirate ranks. Ain't nothing serious. I think we'd be able to take him. But he does at least have enough of a reputation to where people know his, or at least in certain circles, that they've heard about how he tortures his prey by pouring tar down the throat. I think that's how he got the name Blacktooth.
No,
Oh,
that's a little extreme.
The big trouble we're going to have here is the fact that he is trying to build himself somewhat of a fleet, if he doesn't already have one of some size. That's
well,
the only trouble.
yes, well, as a shipwright, I'm sure that you know one of the most wonderful things about ships is they burn.
Fire!
Yeah, you're right. They do burn.
Are we burning ships? I really don't want to burn ships. That's not my forte.
Bad people?
That is
Even with bad people,
the
I
trouble
don't
with burning
burn
ships is
things.
that they
Not
have a
very
chance to
well.
sink, and when a boat sinks, you can't really get what's on them. And
That is true.
I'd be willing to bet we could make a decent bit of coin just from what we haul from those ships if he has more than one.
That is true. The question I have is there anybody above him, anyone who's going to particularly care or take offense at us taking care of him, putting him down? Are we going to make an enemy further down for ourselves further down the road? Is my question.
Probably. If we take out a pirate lord or a very
Oh,
important
he's no
captain,
lord.
or
He's
who,
an up and comer. If what if I know what's happening, from what's happened in the past, it'll cause a power vacuum. Nothing big. Uh, the big thing is that the people that have joined him would more than likely be persuaded by the pirates to join their crews instead. This what we do has to be a clean and swift hanging. We can't let them get out,
Right.
is what I'm trying to say. Whether we tick them off one by one or try to take them out by large mass, I'll leave that up to y'all.
if we're fighting pirates, even though I'm not super good on it, but I know they're bad people, they're probably well adept in fighting. I am okay at fighting. My strengths lie in controlling others. So maybe not a large crowd would be the best option. If I can get a minute of their time as a performer, I can literally take control over their captain and he will not know that.
Not a good idea.
But
I would say it's a good idea if it wasn't for the fact pirates are the superstitious type. You go near their boat, they're gonna try and put a sword to your
they
throat.
don't have to be near their boat.
You're right. You're right there.
And if anything, as Lisha has said, without honestly, without like any physical names, I have to actually look at the computer to make sure I have you guys right.
Lisa doesn't say anything.
Lishi, as Lishi has said, they are going to be very attentive to female attraction. And I look towards Lishi and Lisha and myself. We can probably get them away from their ships pretty easily, or at least a couple of them. Just enough to get an idea of what we're dealing with.
Now that is a good idea.
Playing the siren, complete with song.
Complete with song. And I can also sing, so I don't need my violin. I just prefer it.
Do we know where they make port? Was that already discussed? Did I miss it?
I don't believe I have that information, but if they're causing trouble for the town, it would not be hard for us to figure it out. We'd really
Well,
just
that's-
have to get a boat and sail on out ourselves and figure things out from there.
That is a detail to work out, yes.
Ooh, I also have disguises, so we don't have to look like ourselves. If they're weary of, well, I look towards Kindle and Airbless. You guys will be a little bit harder to disguise. But I look towards the twins. We can at least disguise them. I can give you a bow, Kendall, if you like. Or a pretty scarf.
Scarf!
Okay, yeah, I could give you a pretty scarf. Air bless, I guess I can try to make your arm look not robotic. But that's about all I can do for you guys.
I could just put a glove over it.
Yeah. You guys stand out a little bit more than
My big trouble is just what I am. It's
yeah.
I might be better off just tailing behind the boat or something, or at the
Yeah.
very least being under a towel or something.
I don't have
I
a
think
coat
you're a
big
bit
enough for you.
Big for that.
Maybe
Now,
a below deck.
I think that this sort of planning can wait until we have more detail.
Right. You know what?
You've given us quite a bit to work with so far.
You know what? I believe I do have an appointment with the master shipwright. If if I'm able to get a little bit of extra from him, I might be able to get him to let us borrow a boat of some kind. I don't think I
That would
have
be
the resources to buy one outright.
How much
would
are
be wonderful.
boats?
But it depends on what kind of ship you guys are looking. Arablest, you'd definitely be able to get a boat if that is what you'd like, and then it just comes down to what size you feel like you.
Right. Honestly, I might be able to make one. Take a minute,
That
Yeah, I was gonna
but
say yeah, it would take take
That-
quite a few.
that's kind of like on the same level of how in the other game my
yeah,
character's making a house. Something to do. But future.
yeah, for the future. Um,
Absolutely make it on both though.
to answer what you're saying, DM in chat, private
Mhm.
chat, yes.
I figured.
I'm looking through a book right now, which is why I couldn't just text.
Nope, you're good. You're good. Okay, so you also have the scroll, so that you still need to open. Lishi.
Yes, now that we're done with that conversation, I shall. So, if we've covered everything there is to cover there, we should see what's contained within this.
Excuse me.
And I will pop the seal on the scroll and unfurl it and read it.
Are you just gonna be reading it out loud, or do you want to you?
Send me the contents and I'll read it out loud. We'll do
Sure.
both.
Evo goes to the bed and lays down.
Spicy, spicy.
You're all so boring.
Hmm?
I said, you all are so boring. You ruin my fun, and then you read notes to me.
I think you need to drink some juice.
Does Kindle give me juice?
No? My
Then
juice.
I'm not getting juice.
That's Kindle's juice. You're not getting it.
It's my juice. It'd be hard pressed to get a bird to share stuff.
I mean, yes. Maybe if I give you a sparkly, like, jewel or something.
Debatable.
Something shiny.
Debatable. That one's debatable.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just throw some seed at him, it'll distract him.
Right? Right?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Bits of bread.
Oh, yeah.
Bread works pretty good.
Yeah, bread
Oh,
does work.
I've got bits of bread. That's what I could use that for.
There you go. Yeah.
Kindle bait.
Kindle bait. When we run out of juice, we have bread for Kindle.
I feel like we're all being terribly racist towards bird people right now.
I think we may be.
Maybe.
Kindle, we
But
love you.
I think maybe if I didn't act like a child, it might be different.
But yeah. But the thing is, you can repeat everything we're saying in perfect.
I mean, if I really
accuracy.
wanted to.
Yeah.
It is signed Nicholas at the bottom.
All right.
Oh, Nicholas.
Congratulations, initiates. You have made it this far, and I commend you for having delivered the medicine to the correct destination. You can return to the guild and pass the exam. Should you seek more adventure, then please meet the war party due east from Ebonworth, an hour's walk. I can only assume the war party is going to go deal with the pirates.
Oh, well, let's go there, I guess. Is that Nick? So, DM, remind me, is Nicholas the guy that I whistled at the guild hall?
Yes.
Yes. Evo takes the note. I'll keep this. I put it in my bag. Well, shall we do that tomorrow since it's getting dark?
Yes, I believe that's a good plan.
Well, gentlemen, and I look towards the other two, that room is yours. This one's ours.
All right. Is the project that I was having you work on for me done, Arablast?
Oh, ah, yes, it is. Would you like to see it?
I would very much like to see it.
And this is what Airless pulls out. Um, Now, for those of you watching at home, this was sent to us in a private chat. Basically, imagine a foldable metal structure of some sort that can basically go from a frisbee shape to a bowl shape, but it's like a double-sided bowl, kind of like hourglass shape, I guess I should say. And it's got a bunch of hinges and stuff.
Oh, that's clever. And it goes like this?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, this will be perfect.
Now, like
What
I
was
said,
what was the cost of making this?
none. Mule has all the supplies I needed. Most I could say is 5 silver to make.
All right. Well, at the very least, I owe you a drink for this. So perhaps once everything's settled and we've gotten back into Dawnport, I'll pick up a drink for you there.
I think I'll take you up on that offer. And like I did tell you before, I put one of my nails into it. So if ever you want me to try and boost you a little bit, I just have to tap it and it'll be ready. If you want,
All
I
right.
can even do it now. And yeah.
I'm not sure what benefit it would have to the spell I'd be casting with this, but I'll keep that in mind.
Oh no, it wouldn't do it. I don't know the spell in particular you're casting, but I'm guessing it's something similar to a ritual.
Yes.
It wouldn't help you none with that. This is a combative enchantment. Uh, I like calling it a mind sharpener. Uh, let's say you're keeping concentration on a spell, right? And you get hit real hard, and you don't think you're gonna be able to keep your concentration. Well, this will zap you, and you'll have a better chance at it. But only if you want me to put it on there.
I'll keep that in mind. I'll think about that this evening.
Understood. Now that, just so you know, I can only keep my 2 different of these little increases. Right now, I'm already doing one for Kindle and me, but I'm okay with giving up mine since I'm staying more at the front than I am in the back.
That's appreciated. I don't like being hit with things, especially swords.
Yes.
It makes for a very bad day.
All right. All right. Well, I believe time for some rest is upon us. So thank you again. You'll see the results of your having made this for me come the morning.
Sounds good.
All right, so as you guys kind of separate for the night, Arablest, you head back down to the bar to meet up with that shipwright foreman, and end up having quite a good evening drinking and talking to the gentleman. And like I said, I will be giving you those details later that you next session will be able to share with everybody. Okay?
Sounds good.
So, with that being said, is there, because I'm thinking what we're going to do, guys, kind of came at a good stopping point. I'm actually going to stop us here tonight. Next session, we have a couple things we'll be go ahead.
One thing before we stop is that I had the intent to do this spell now that I have the thing I needed to do it.
But you're going to do it that night in the room?
Yes.
Okay, then go ahead. Let's go ahead and do that.
So set up the little brazier and set the charcoals that I bought in there and light them so they're
Evo walks
hot.
up and goes, "You got this, buddy." You get a bardic inspiration die. I don't know if you're
Alright.
rolling, but you now have a D6 before be something.
There's no roll involved with this, but thank you anyway.
Oh, well,
You are very confident, Lishi, that you're going to do this right. Damn it!
I am. Well, it's a new spell, so I might need that. I will set the charcoal alight so that it is burning and begin taking the sprigs of herbs and incense that I've got prepared for this. Run them around the outer edge of the brazier, putting one bit at a time in onto the charcoal so that they burn and fill the room with this lovely fragrant smoke. While chanting Veni, mi amici. Veni, mi amici. And after an hour of this, those words probably being quite annoying to the other two of you by the end of it.
Your hair looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Alicia has been
spent
sitting-
the entire time braiding your hair.
Oh, that's all right.
Mhm.
But by the end of it, from within the smoke, a black cat leaps out.
Is it a solid form? Like this isn't like
Yes, it's fine, familiar. It's a solid creature.
just double checking. Meow. Very good. You have found yourself a little black cat. Do you have a name picked out?
I shall talk with you about that over the course of the next week or two. I have an idea in mind, but it's going to be based on lore of your setting. So
Oh, yeah. I remember.
All right. Well, awesome. Your cat is now officially joined the group. Your guys' repertoire of pets is growing even bigger.
at least this
Yes,
one doesn't
but-
eat.
and it has a great many functions. I love Find Familiar so much.
What do you mean it doesn't eat? I thought it would.
It does
Find
if
Familiar?
I wanted to. It is a
Yeah,
fey
it can.
creature.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
It just
So if
yeah.
it might not need to eat, but if I offered it tuna, it would probably enjoy it all the same.
It's still a cat.
It is still a cat.
All right. Well, then before I start the outro, anything else anyone would like to do? Kindle, you have been left alone.
I've been
This
left.
goes down.
I've been left alone.
Oh no.
Yes, you have. You've been left alone in the room
Oh,
to have a meeting
oh, sweet.
with
Is-
the shipwright foreman.
Is there anything cool in here?
Oh jeez.
No, there's a really big bed and a
Oh.
dresser and a mirror. That's it.
What's
Oh,
in
So
there?
please jump on the bed.
Well, I want to see what's in the dresser first. But then I'll jump on the bed.
The dresser is empty. There's nothing in the dresser.
Oh,
Sad.
damn it. I'll put my cup of juice in there, though.
Okay.
In the dresser?
Oh, heck yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna put it in there.
Okay. That'll be someone else's problem later.
And then
God.
I would now proceed to go jump on that bed because I can.
Okay. Yeah, you're jumping, and as you kind of bounce up, you flap your arms a little bit, and you're having a good time.
All right.
Evo, Lishi, and Leisha, as you guys are sitting there looking at this cat, you hear a bed bouncing next, from the room next to you.
I'm going to put a hand in the ring here and say that I don't think they're doing anything bad.
Oh god.
Can we tell that it's coming from the room that should belong to Arabelest and Kindle?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no, Evo. I think it might just be Kindle doing his best impression of you.
And he's gonna have to try really hard. The bed has to sound a little bit more squeaky.
Damn.
Not that heavy, so that's
Yeah,
fair.
right?
I'm
Yeah.
just continuing to braid my sister's hair.
Yeah, Kindle and all of his. You weigh?
60 pounds.
60 pounds. I'm very light.
You are very light.
Well,
All
I
right.
take the bed and go to bed.
Yes, now that I've summoned my pet, it is time for rest.
Good place to end.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch over to here. Okay, so a little bit of a rocky ending here, just because we're trying to set up for next session. We're gonna have a couple of side things going on this month for those followers that are keeping track of everything. Tomorrow, around this time, we're going to be playing a very fun game with all of our characters here from To Gears Unknown. It's called Dunces and Damsels. So if you'd like to join us, we are going to be playing a fun little romance finding game, a good 60s, 70s game show style. It will be at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on our Twitch channel, and keep an eye out on our Twitch and Twitter and other social medias for the rest of the schedule. Putting out, and in 2 weeks we will be coming back for another episode to keep, and we will continue with pirating adventures take us. All right, everybody, say goodnight, and thank you, followers, for visiting us this evening.
Night.
Good
night.
Thanks.
Thank you to anyone who watched, and have a wonderful evening.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right.